Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Good day to you, sir. Good day to you, ma'am. Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming. Free always. If you miss anything, go back, get caught up. We'll post all 3 hours both to iTunes and in our own audio vault upon the conclusion of the program. You can always email us, jcs at 979espnradio.com. You can find me on Twitter at jcameronshow and the WTSM app. Good for your mobile devices. Use it whether it's an Android or an iPhone. Doesn't matter. Free. Download it now and listen in as you please. On YouTube, ESPN Tallahassee, if you want to watch us do the show. You can also Periscope the program. Go to Twitter and type in at 979 ESPN Radio and follow that, and you'll find the Periscope feed there as well. All right, so tonight the NBA Finals begins, but really, we'll probably be more in tune in watching women's softball, something I never thought I'd say, but I will be. So will Tom. So will a lot of you. Come on, ladies.
Come on, Jesse Warren. Let's do it.
One-woman show in the postseason so far. Just remarkable. It's got to be cool to be considered the best at, your position or best player on the team, best player in the conference, one of the best players in the country, but to show up big when you need to. Seemingly every time, right?
That's the Posey effect. Now, you can say it dates back to JD or John Ford Griffin or whomever, but for me, that was the first person I saw.
Posey did it all the time. It was ridiculous. I used to joke, Posey was, even more than JD in this way, when we needed a home run, not a double, not a single, not a walk, a home run. We need a home run. He hit a home run. It was ridiculous. It was as if it was Little League, where he was just the best kid on the team, and if you put it in the strike zone, it would, it gets hit out of the yard, Kelly Leak or something like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. That's the way he was. She's that way. Has been anyhow. That's remarkable to me. I'm sure it's not easy. I mean, the pressure that comes with that. So hopefully it'll happen again tonight and late this evening. They're used to playing late. Late this evening, we'll maybe be celebrating yet another Florida State win. Knock on wood. Let's hope that happens. Of course, this is all a build-up to tomorrow as well, as we get set for the men with the regional play. Mike Martin Jr. will join us tomorrow on the program. Lengthy conversation with him, as we're wont to do just before their first game of a regional. We've done it for years and years and years. We'll do it again tomorrow. He's got to be particularly proud, he and his dad and that whole staff, Mike Bell, really pleased with this year's team. You lose your staff ace, freaking first game of the season. And not only is he your ace, he's going to be, your 5 or 6 hole hitter from the left side, going to play some first base. He was going to be a big part of both your offense and your defense, a local kid that everybody could. He turned down big money to stay, to come here, and to have that happen was a hell of a gut punch. They lost Tyler Daughtry before the start of the year, too. He was another key component. And yet this team, much like last year, not exactly the same thing, but in this regard, getting hot late is the same. I have to ask them if they found the formula where you just press a button after looking wholly mediocre to suddenly looking like you're on a roll at just the right time. That's 2 years running, different set of circumstances, but nonetheless, you want to be playing your best late in the year. They are playing the best they've played all year, 10 of 11 they've won. They're pitching, they're hitting, they're getting a lot of things done. I mean, they always get on base. They lead the country in walks all the time. But they've had some big, big hits in critical moments, and they've gotten big outs out of their bullpen late in games. They've done a lot of things right that suggest they're going into this regional in a really good place right now.
Well, I think a lot of the kids can draw on experiences from last season. And, last season's lows were much lower than this season's lows. There may have been some adversity, obviously, in the injury department, but you're not talking about playing 500 baseball through 30-plus games this season. But the idea about when to turn it on, how to turn it on, that doesn't always translate from team to team. It happens in football, basketball, you name it, college sports. Sometimes your turnover from year to year is significant. Sometimes you have a lot of the core players returning, but a lot of core players for this baseball team returned year to year, even with Holton's injury. They've been through this before. They know what the pressures feel like, and they know that they can overcome them because they did so last season. If they get out to Omaha, that's when you're going to have to deal with some butterflies again that you did not conquer. But it seems like this year, and it was Ira on Tuesday when you had him on. He said it's scary if you look at some of the developments, especially the depth of the pitching staff, some unheralded guys getting huge outs in the ACC tournament, coming out of the bullpen, retiring the side without any more damage done. And obviously the lineup, you're seeing more hits from deeper parts of the lineup than you did for most of the season. Yeah, it mirrors last season's finish in a lot of ways, even though the formative parts in February and March weren't exactly the same.
I'll get straight to it. I like the Seminoles to advance. I think they'll win this regional, and that's not going out on a limb. They win regionals. They do that a lot, especially these, what I used to call, the sub-regional. They do. Now, baseball being baseball, you can't count people out, especially because even teams like Samford, the team they'll be playing tomorrow night, they all have frontline pitching. Everybody's got a guy. You don't get this far into the postseason. You don't get this far, that is to say, to make the postseason, if you don't have typically a reliable ace at the very least, a guy that can stop the bleeding, a guy you can count on to win a big game. And they do. They have that guy in the form of Samuel Strickland. He leads the rotation with a 1.89 ERA in just over 76 innings. He's got 82 strikeouts. He's been really good. Samford as a whole really got here because of pitching. There's 36-24. But they have a kid, Cody Shelton, who was also really good this year. ERA just over 3, Tom, and 79 innings pitched. Another guy out of the bullpen's really good. You'll see the name Wyatt Burns. He's 59 innings, 168. I mean, they can pitch.
Yeah.
That's how they got here. Their pitching staff, 3.48 in 535 2/3 innings, 553 strikeouts. They've been a team that can pitch. They're not going to light it up with the bats, but they can pitch. So you always hold your breath a little bit because you're getting everybody's ace in that first game.
Yeah, we've had an awful lot of low-scoring Friday nights over the years because somebody does have an ace, and so it is 2-0 in the 6th inning or something along those lines.
Yeah, you get nervous to try to get to that pin.
It's the atmosphere of Hauser that makes the difference too, and it's the animals, it's the crowd. There's a reason why you want to host these things and why Florida State makes good on that opportunity, because the atmosphere at Hauser, especially when you get to June, is just a little bit different. You've seen some bona fide players over the years fold under that pressure, and maybe we'll add another one to the list tomorrow night.
I look around the major leagues, and I think about all the times that I'm watching a game, and I'll see an Andrew Miller, or I'll see somebody like that, and I'll go, I remember when he was at North Carolina, and we pasted his ass on a Friday night. I remember when – no, seriously, there are a ton of guys in
Sonny Gray came down here and did some things, but
I'm saying there are a lot of guys that didn't, that were really good, that were having great careers, that, guys where you'd say, well, this portends of a major league career, and it did, but they didn't have success here for whatever reason. And we saw that, this place does have a little magic to it. And they do play. That's the other thing. We're all caught up always. I know how it happens. I get it. I know why. But we are certainly caught up in the idea of chasing the Holy Grail, right? Winning that national championship, that elusive national championship. Because as I often point out, it's the only thing that he hasn't been able to check off. He's won everything else there is to win, has been wildly consistent in a way that nobody else in the sport has ever been in the history of the game. All that's true. But what gets lost in that obsession with finally grasping that championship trophy is all of the big games that are won along the way. And Florida State is really good in regionals. They win regionals. I say that. I don't, it's not just like, well, hopefully we'll win this regional. History says we'll win this regional. I mean, no guarantees because we've lost regionals too, but we win them a lot more than we lose them. And these ones that we're hosting year in and year out, I always get nervous. I can't wait to walk into that stadium. Tomorrow will be no different. I become just a fan. I'm a kid when I go over to Hauser in the summer months for a regional, and I've been doing it now for almost 30 years. And when I walk in there, I think, oh, this is it. Now, it's always uncomfortably hot, and there's a good chance lightning's going to strike, and there'll be a delay, and you're going to be sitting next to a stranger that annoys the hell out of you, and it's hot as Hades. But the action is great. The games are always fun. And, I'm nervous every time, but they win a lot more than they lose.
Well, I love regionals just because of the constant baseball that's being played. Just the atmosphere is different. Super regionals, they're about business. The regional can be a little bit more fun. There's so many teams, and usually we see in Alabama or Mississippi State in this case, you see teams come in from the region, and they have super fans that drive over. And so you have this kind of weird, it feels like a postseason tournament that's like an ACC basketball tournament that's more of an exhibition. But then it does get serious around Saturday night into Sunday. But Friday and Saturday in the afternoon, everybody's kind of getting their wits about them and, getting used to the atmosphere. And I just look forward to this in a much different way. And one of my favorite things as a media reporter over the years has been we go in, we cover Friday night, usually Florida State wins. Saturday morning or early is the losers bracket game. Somebody gets sent home. But then the media all goes and grabs lunch. We hang out under the oaks, enjoy the breeze, what little there may be, but at least you have the shade of the oaks, and you just commiserate with people who love the sport as much as you do. Then you go back and then it starts to ratchet up. By the time you get to Super Regional weekend, it's very, very serious. But there's this crescendo feeling to the postseason in baseball that's unique to it.
The only time that I ever was a part of a regional that I absolutely did not enjoy was the regional in the season that I was the PA voice for Dick Howser Stadium. That sucked. You're there forever. It is and you can't leave. And and you have to be completely objective, of course, and you're doing all the games. You're not just doing Florida State's game. So I'm sitting there waiting to get the rosters, pouring down rain. Bennett Hauser for 7 hours, going to be here for 7 more. Well, who knows when that rain's going to stop? You can't go anywhere. We're going to need you here. You got to make some announcements. Let people know. Play will start in 15 minutes.
Yeah, you got to let the folks know.
Yeah.
The 12 who remained in the stands during
losers that have no life that couldn't walk out of that stadium and go do something with them. I mean, good.
Well, you could at least retreat to your tailgate, right?
I mean, good Lord. And I'm telling you, that was, I was living with Todd Van Dyke at the time, who was, of course, the voice of the Lady Knowles and Knoll Man in the stadium, but way back in the day. And I was sitting there, and he was laughing at me because he left. Went home, as one would want to do there. Nope, just sitting there waiting. Got the names down. I've practiced them backwards and forward. I'm going to be able to pronounce every starter here for Delaware. I got you. Here we go. It was just, woo.
I remember one year, and I wouldn't do this anymore. So for somebody who uses this now, I apologize. They're going to lock this door. But there was an auxiliary room that you could go to during a rain delay. It was like an auxiliary studio for TV or radio broadcasts. And in the adjacent wall, you could hear the deliberations of the committee about when to start the game or when to postpone the game.
That was well
so
done.
Bob Ryan going on.
I thought you were going to rap.
Yeah, that's me too, apparently. But you'd hear them deliberate about what to do. Are you going to push it back to tomorrow? When's the start going to be? And so you get the jump. You'd be like, all right.
Well, here's what's going to happen.
I've got 2 more hours. I can go do something.
I can do all of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it's going to start in 30 minutes, so let's everybody get back to our workstations. But it's just kind of cool to hear how those deliberations go, though that was very much off the record.
I certainly don't like to slow progress. I'm all for continuing, forging forward, and obviously learning from past mistakes and so forth. But I will tell you, if there was a time that I'd like to hearken back to and adapt the standards, it would be the days in which we feared not for the patron's safety and played right through lightning problems. I still long for the moments where, once again, we see lightning in the distance and we go, we'll be all right.
But, Jeff,
Let's play some daytime baseball here.
There's a bolt of lightning that just hit the paper mill in Perry. We have to stop playing.
I mean, whether it's football or baseball, the lightning delays where you're sitting there and you're going, I have seen no lightning. None. It has been an hour. Well, Jeff, there was a flicker 147 miles away, just within range. Restart the clock for 45 minutes. No. Take my chances. First pitch coming up in 5 minutes. Here we go.
Have you picked your spots? Because now that you're a dad, you have to pick your spots about what days you're going to squeeze out over to the regional.
It's Clark's birthday over the weekend, this upcoming weekend. His birthday is, in fact, on Saturday. And the Saturday game is the one you want to be at, of course, because the Friday night game with Sanford is a nothing game that I could happily miss and watch from afar and be
8
okay
now?
with.
Is it 8?
Clark will be turning 8.
All
yes.
right.
Oldest is 10, and Clark will be turning 8. And so I don't know. I have strategically discussed the regional this weekend with him in a way that doesn't sound like I'm attempting to influence him to go to the game for his birthday. I'll just say, we really get high-quality baseball every year here in Tallahassee. It's something you just can't take for granted. And,
Son, how lucky are you? Your baseball or your birthday is the same day as the big baseball game.
You know, the whole city is talking about this baseball game, and it falls on your birthday. You talk doubling up on a day that is so special. How about we celebrate you at the baseball game? My goodness, what an atmosphere that'll be. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll be watching, of course, no matter what, but being present, I can't promise on Saturday that will be the case.
No cotton candy, nothing can do.
Well, and, I'm anti-cotton candy because it's just a big, giant ball of sugar. But if you're going to have cotton candy at the baseball game or the circus, I suppose, is where you can have that because, and at least in the case of the baseball game, you can tell your kid, get up and run around. That's the kind of parenting that goes down in the Cameron household. Get up and run around. I'll see you in a little bit.
You'll make new friends.
Yeah, you'll find people. Go bring your glove. Throw the tennis ball over there behind the stands. Whatever it is you guys are doing.
Wall ball, man.
Make it happen. Wall ball was the best back in the day. I played for keeps. I tried to hurt you if you dropped the ball and it was a chance to throw.
Butts up, right?
Butts up.
Yeah.
Firing away. Just you had to earn your keep, right? That was the deal.
Mm-hmm.
You had to buck up there, soldier, that moment that you drop it and you go, oh.
No, so, when I played that in middle school, elementary and middle school, one of the kids who I played with turned out to be an NFL offensive lineman, Ted Larson, and he could pitch, too. He had an arm.
He could throw a little bit, huh?
So if it ever came to me, I would discreetly slide little calculators in my back pockets that you couldn't see because the pockets were so big.
To avoid it?
Because he was accurate, too. You would be tanned up for a good day or two.
Well, I didn't have a Nolan Ryan throwing at me, so I was all right. It was going to be okay. But, yeah, you kind of forge your way through there, and you learn a little something. So I'll see, anyhow, long story short, I'll see if I can get the kid out there to the baseball game and try to disguise it as a grand celebration of his birthday as opposed to us attending a baseball regional. But I will say this. I'd much rather his birthday fall this weekend than when the Supers are here and every game is, there's no missing.
No, and Clemson is going to be a handful if it
They're
goes
not
chalk.
going to make it. They're so pissed off at South Carolina's athletic director for aligning, and I would be too. They are certainly sensitive to what occurred there. I did chuckle when I saw that. Now, I don't like that two ACC teams potentially are set to cannibalize, right? And that's one less team out because I fly the flag, Tom. So that's one less out there in Omaha potentially, and that's troublesome.
If we have to go through them and they're not there, could be worse.
Yeah, things happen. That's all right. Got to beat good teams, right? It's true. But Florida State, make no mistake, a big favorite this weekend's regional, and I expect them to get out of it. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You know what? It's time you level up your lemon lime with new, clear, refreshing Mountain Dew Ice. Why settle for this when you could have this? You want a fist bump that ends in one of those fake explosions?
Hey, Charles.
Or a fist bump that ends in an actual explosion?
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
It's Thirsty Thursday, and all Mountain Dew 20-ounce products are just 99 cents today at RCD Shell. Flavors like regular Dew, Dew Ice, Baja Blast, plus all flavors of Kickstar are 99 cents every day. So do the Dew and keep going strong with these great Dew products. All just 99 cents at RCD Shell.
You are a hero. You may not fight killer robots, but a crabby toddler can be a formidable foe. Luckily, you're armed with a Chrysler Pacifica. Its best-in-class Uconnect theater can defeat any temper tantrum. And when cargo space is in danger, Pacifica's trusty class-exclusive Stow and Go always comes to the rescue. Get a great deal at the Chrysler Incredible Sales Event.
Available feature based on the FCA US LLC Premium Advanced Second. Chrysler and Uconnect are registered trademarks of FCA US LLC.
Loans are made by WebBank. Rates and terms vary based on credit history. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
I was making great progress on building my savings, but then I get hit with an unexpected car repair bill.
Keeping a close eye on my credit score allowed me to buy my first house, but an unexpected medical emergency set me back.
When the unexpected happened, Avant was there to help. If you need to borrow $2,000 to $35,000, try Avant. It's fast, simple, and transparent.
Everything is done online. There are no prepayment fees, and no collateral is required. And you can instantly check your rate with no impact to your credit score.
Over 500,000 customers have experienced the convenience of a loan through Avant. No wonder Avant has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And now, Avant will give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first payment is made on time. To check your rates and to get this special radio offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 4141 when applying. That's AVANT.com, promo code 4141. Go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 4141.
Running low on the stuff you need? Time for a Target run. We're here for all the big moments and the little ones too. Like taking your meal to the park. Spend $20 on picnic essentials like paper plates, trash bags, and food storage and get a free $5 gift card. Or get cooking with a free $5 gift card when you spend $20 on meat and grill till the sun sets. And buy 4, get a free $5 gift card on select soap, deodorant, and more. Get low prices on thousands of items today and every day. Target run and done. Pricing may vary, restrictions may apply.
It's time to get your chop on as our Atlanta Braves continue to roll through the big NL East battles and into the summer.
The 3-2 pitch, here it comes, and there it goes. It's fair, it's long, it's in the chop house.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey, and by Metro Deli in downtown Tallahassee. Head to espntallahassee.com/Braves. You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
.9 ESPN Radio. Hope this finds you doing well. Couple of ats. This may be the first time ever, but I completely disagree with Jeff Cameron Show about Clemson having more talent than FSU the past few years. The recruiting rankings show that consistently. I think the difference between us and them has been a lack of development and injuries in the trenches. Well, I think it can be both here. This is Chief Bosciola. Bosciola.
I like Bosciola. That's pretty awesome. I'm Chief Bosciola.
I think they've been better on the defensive line. Certainly on the edges they have.
What was the scheme asking them to do, for crying out loud, last year? That's one of the ones that's frustrating, right?
Yeah, I just think Clemson's been more talented there the last couple of years too, and I think the depth of that defensive line is the best in the country. So that's kind of an inarguable. Their linebackers have been worlds better than ours. Not even close. Their offensive line is a lot better than ours. You speak to scheme, but you recruit people to your scheme, right? And as far as recruiting to your scheme goes, they've been better at quarterback. So, I mean, I don't know where we're going here, but Clemson's just been better. We not every player, not every, we've got guys. I'm not saying they're devoid of talent, but no, and I'm not. Listen, recruiting rankings matter because by and large, if you consistently win in recruiting, you are getting more quality players on a regular rate. I understand that. I'm not a guy that says, well, stars don't matter. Well, case by case, you can find situations where outliers exist. I get it. There are walk-ons that become first-round picks. I understand that, but it's rare. And by and large, if you win your fair share of five-star guys, you're going to have the better team. So the recruiting rankings matter. I'm not going to dismiss them, but I am going to say that Clemson recruiting to scheme and developing players, there we agree. But Clemson's also had, in a lot of segments, more talented players. Offensive line especially, but their linebackers have been way better. I mean, we've had a joke. I mean, Telvin Smith was the last real good linebacker we had.
Yeah, that's pretty much right.
I mean, damn, man.
Terrence had a decent year, but, it wasn't like Telvin made a difference on the field. Well, we haven't had a guy fundamentally change a game from that segment.
Well, think about all the guys for Clemson you watch running around out there like Boulware and those guys. You're like, damn, guys, difference makers.
Yeah.
So, again, what you're citing now, where you disagree with me, is when you talk about development, you're talking about coaching, and that is the oddity here, is that somewhere along the way we just stopped coaching them up. And that's another reason we're all relieved to have been moving on. Stagnant, to say the least. Whatever happened, and things just shut down.
I think the most troubling thing I heard in that entire time that wasn't publicly, disseminated, kind of like the whole TV show on Showtime when Chimbo's saying, how do I reach these kids?
Well, that was a troublesome moment. I don't know that you're going to tell me something that was more troublesome than that.
Well, Derwin James having to correct perhaps coaches on the field in practice?
Yeah, that wasn't
because,
good.
I mean, think about that. That's the kid that should be learning. He should be growing as a football player, and he's having to correct what's going on in practice.
Yeah,
if you believe the rumors from practice. That's incredible.
I think, too, it's hard to imagine, he's referring to something I said on yesterday's show talking to you about where we were from a talent standpoint, where we needed to get to catch up to Clemson. And I should probably clarify this point. I don't think we're buried. I don't think this is a 4 or 5 year process. I think if you get it right at a couple of key positions and you put kids in a position to succeed routinely, you can level the playing field very quickly. If this most recent class with the influx of really talented freshmen, some of whom will see the field this year, right now, make an impact, who knows? I mean, you could be within a year right where you need to be in order to win the Atlantic and become the team that emerges out of the ACC as a college football playoff contender. Right now, this isn't that year. This is year one and getting back to where we need to get. We've got some things we're going to do better. I'm almost sure of it. But I don't think we're where we need to be if you want to confidently predict that we're going to knock off Clemson.
Well, with the Clemson talent disparity thing, the defensive line this year is just unlucky. We could be at peak efficiency, and you'd still go, well, I mean, are you kidding me with what they have returning on top of what they're recruiting?
It's insane.
That's
it's insane how many really good players they have on the defensive line to be that deep and that talented. Yes.
But do you want to at least reserve the right to be able to come back in October and say, yeah, we did have some pretty damn good players. I don't know what the hell this coaching staff was doing around here.
I do reserve the right. I said that once before. I believe you're going to see kids put in a better position to succeed on a regular basis, and we're going to play better just by virtue of that. And that talent will shine in a way it couldn't a year ago, and we'll go, what was going on? I agree with that. When something's broken or when the waters have been muddied and everybody's kind of uncertain of their role, their responsibility, whether or not they're exactly gung-ho to execute those assignments, what kinds of practices are going on. When things become convoluted and disjointed, and to some degree politics begin to seep in on and off the field, where you have administration and coaching staff at odds, and you've got guys falling through the cracks because everybody's looking over their shoulder about what's going to happen next, and people, when it's not, quote-unquote, operating at peak efficiency, you don't get the most out of talented players, kids that might otherwise really be playing to form when you recruited them, and they fall by the wayside, and you don't get out of them what you should. We see that all the time. So that alone is going to change because everybody's bought in. That we know. Everybody's bought in. Now, you got to win games, and all of that will affect how bought in they remain moving forward. But for now, it's suffice to say, from their own quotes after one very short stint together, that they are in, that they have bought the message hook, line, and sinker, and that they can't wait to see how this plays out. And they're ready to make it happen and turn things back around and get back to where we need to be. So you're going to see guys play better than they have ever played, and you're going to see guys reach their potential, and that should be good for a couple more wins right off the bat. I mean, just games that, we lost some games last year that are just freaking laughable. Absurd the way we lost some games last year. And yeah, that's not going to happen. I said earlier that I thought one of the things that's a byproduct of the new coaching staff and getting the most out of kids and running the system that we're going to run is that I do believe we're going to see on a regular basis teams that do not have the requisite talent to line up and run with us get the brakes beat off them. We're going to see 35-point ass whippings when you play the likes of a Duke or a Wake and teams like that for a long time had no business making that game a one-possession game in the fourth quarter or having the lead late in the fourth quarter. Because of our dysfunction in pace and all of the things that had gone on, there we were sweating out those kinds of games. That's going to go away.
It's just so hard when you try and, on the ground, project what's going to happen in certain segments. For example, defensive line, defensive ends, to be even more specific. To me, I would think the X factor for the entire D-line would be Kane Doe. What is Kane Doe this year? But there's a lot that goes into it. You've got the scheme. You've got the assistant coach capabilities. Then you have the training staff. How well conditioned is this player going to be? Mm-hmm. Then you have the player's ability on top of it, which we're only starting to get used to. So, I mean, when you're trying to project what it is we're going to be and we're not and what we should have been or weren't, there's so many moving parts. It's really hard to project. And while I agree that, this isn't going to be a 10 or 11 win season, you can't rightfully project that and say, write it down, double-digit wins. I can understand why a book out in Las Vegas says, well, I don't know what they are. Maybe they're just not, maybe they didn't recruit as well. Maybe they got more star ratings for the recruiting classes because it's Florida State.
By the way, we used to get these great star ratings and recruiting class rankings at the end of the Bowden era when we were getting the wrong kinds of five-star players. There were a reason that they were coming to Florida State because the other schools had said, yeah, you know what? We're good. You go ahead and take Mr. Rouse.
Sure.
We're all right.
There's just a lot to parse through, but I think at the end of the day, I mean, if this staff resembles what the staff did in the beginning of the Jimbo era, which was they come in hungry, they're looking to make a name for themselves. They come in here selfish in a way.
With those motives. That you like, yes.
Right, and it's a message the kids want to hear. I mean, by definition.
You know who's going to have a huge year? Provided he's healthy, Naquan Murray. We've talked about some of the selfishness and some of the lack of leadership moments that he's displayed where you think, come on, man. Nooney, I need you, man. I think he's going to have a huge year. To go along with what you have in Tamron Terry, obviously. Question mark? If we're going to do question mark, what's Keith Gavin? What is he? Let's see. I don't know. I had an opinion when I first saw him. I had an opinion the first time I ever watched him in a practice. I had an opinion of what I thought he could be based on, those moments. Hasn't happened.
But it's fair to say for just about everybody short of Francois, they all get a clean slate, right? If they had a bad rap when under Jimbo. Because if you have so much dysfunction in front of you, for example, if you're Naquan, I could make a case for him as a defense attorney and say, well, other guys were making mistakes. They're not as good as Naquan.
And yet they see the field time and again.
Right, so you're going to tell him to be consistent? Okay,
right,
how's that message going to go over? Because he doesn't believe that the coach is genuine. So
Right. When you have that distrust infiltrate the locker room, and there are too many examples where there is a lack of consistency in message and obviously application of discipline and so forth, Yeah, who knows? I mean, because we're not there. We're not in that locker room. We're not privy to the day-to-day operations in practice because you're not allowed to watch it. You can only go by what you see on Saturdays. And what you see on Saturdays is a bunch of guys not really playing for each other. You see a bunch of guys not reaching their potential for whatever reason. And then everybody has an opinion about where that blame lies and why it's happening. But certainly there's no denying that it's happening. So you're right. I mean, yes, the uptick in play from the likes of a Nyquan Murray, the consistency that we've been begging to see out of him. Yeah, you might get it this year. I think you will. I think he's going to have a big year.
Well, yeah, just for one more point, consider what he's gone through, and he has to take ownership, and there are some things that he's done that are just, irresponsible, and I'm not trying to defend those wholly. All I'm saying is if you don't believe your coach is telling you the truth and you believe he's a hypocrite, and then you get to summer workouts and your quarterback isn't working out as hard as he should, and your players or your teammates in the weight room aren't working out as hard as they can, and there's no repercussions for any of this stuff,
right?
And you're not disciplined to begin with, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect from a player? So for me, that's the thing heading into the season as they try and set new standards and new rules for players. They may be players' coaches, but in a way, they may be harder on this group than a taskmaster coach would be because they're held accountable.
I think the area that you'll fall back on and believe, I know they're young, but that you'll believe that, hey, we're going to get some more exciting playmaking type players put in a position to do things like change the scoreboard, scoop and score, create turnovers, get after the quarterback. I think defensively we're going to be markedly improved. And statistically speaking, this was not a bad defense a year ago. That's a misnomer. The defense was actually good. They just weren't exciting. They didn't make a lot of plays. They didn't change the line of scrimmage. They did not get after quarterbacks and create turnovers.
They're on the field all day too.
Yeah, no, they played well statistically, but they were not impactful in the way that, for example, and this is absurd, but Miami's defense had a different mindset. Miami's defense came to make plays. They wanted to get after you. They wanted to make a play on the ball. They rewarded turnovers. The risk-reward factor was in play. They're also really talented. That's a good unit Miami's defense is. But I thought we could have gotten more in that way out of our defense. We had those players, but we didn't ask them to do that. And I think that you'll see a more attacking defense. You do not have to be reactionary on defense. You can attack the same way that offenses do, and I think that's exactly what we're going to get. And when you look at the personnel, say for linebacker, which I'm not in love with still, we'll see. There could be vast improvements there, and luckily the game has changed enough that you don't have three of them out there anyhow. I think Kendo is going to be a great player. DeMarcus Christmas is a very good player. We already know that. Marvin Wilson. You talk about, again, Nazrul Dean and a Westbrook and a Avante Taylor and the Samuels. And, I mean, the secondary is very, very good. Would be. We're going to be good defensively. So how far can we go on offense with a new system and an offensive line that they're the area in question again?
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
And a special allocation of cars. We did not make this offer to any other dealer in the country. Please see the dealer for complete details on the many price-saving metrics available to you. Prices never before seen should make for a robust month-end push at our top dealership. The folks at Kraft are saying thank you in a big way. If you buy any new Nissan before June 1st, you will not only get unheard of, not found anywhere else savings, but Kraft Nissan will give you a free 5-day, 4-night cruise, absolutely free. It's their way of saying thanks. Cruise Nassau, Bahamas or Cozumel, Mexico for 5 great days. And it's on your friends at Kraft Nissan. Limited time offer only available at Kraft Nissan, Tallahassee, Florida.
Hi, honey. How was your day?
It was fine. Pretty uneventful. How about you?
Well, I called the auditors this afternoon and made an appointment for one to come out to the house.
Wait, what? Have you lost your mind? Auditors? Why would you call them? Now we have to find our tax returns, paycheck stubs, and financial records, not to mention all those forms. Good grief.
Relax, honey. It's not that kind of auditor.
It's not?
No. I called the City of Tallahassee Utilities and scheduled a free energy audit.
Energy audit?
Right. It's when an energy auditor from our own utilities comes out to the house, examines the structure, and checks our energy and water systems, and then recommends changes we might make to save energy, water, and money.
And you said it's free?
Absolutely. It's free from the City of Tallahassee Utilities, our own utilities.
Sounds good to me. Let's save some money.
If you're a City of Tallahassee residential, electric, and natural gas customer, you can schedule a free energy audit. Call 891-4YOU. That's 891-4968. And schedule your free energy audit at a time most convenient for you. A message from the City of Tallahassee Utilities, your own utilities.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the Law Office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com. Barano Heating and Air Conditioning would like to wish the baseball team the best of luck in the Tallahassee Baseball Regional. Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. The summer heat is here. Call today at 580-4029 or by visiting baranoac.com.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. Cavaliers forward Kevin Love has completed the NBA's concussion protocol and will be available for Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight against the Warriors. The series marks the first time in the history of the 4 major North American sports that 2 teams are meeting for a 4th consecutive time for a title. Cavs are a huge underdog in the series, but they could steal a win in Oakland tonight, notes ESPN's Ryan Hollins.
Will LeBron come out firing? Are we going to see 15 to 20 points in the first quarter alone from him? And another thing I look at, and you're going to love this, Mike, physicality. When they were down 3-1, the last time they actually beat the Warriors, they beat them up on the glass. They hit them. They said, like, they did all the little things.
Ryan Hollins on Golic and Wingo. Golden State will be without one of its top defenders, Andre Iguodala, a 5th straight game because of a bone bruise in his knee. Game 1, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 9 Eastern on ABC. Cavaliers coach Ty Lue, in an exclusive interview with ESPN's Rachel Nichols, revealed he's been getting treatment for anxiety and a diet change and medication have helped him feel better. Celtics forward Gordon Hayward had a follow-up surgery to remove the plate and screws in his ankle, was having some pain in one spot that had persisted. The team stressed there's no lingering issues, and this was a way to ensure that Hayward is ready for next season. He's expected to resume basketball activities in 6 to 8 weeks and should be ready for training camp. Capitals coach Barry Trotz expects the NHL to review the hit by Golden Knights defenseman Brayden McNabb that knocked Washington center Evgeny Kuznetsov from Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Kuznetsov suffered an upper body injury. Baseball, Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw returns tonight against the Phillies. He's been out for almost a month because of left biceps tendonitis. And in golf, Tiger Woods 7 off the lead at the Memorial after his opening round 72.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Should remind you that if you're not sleeping comfortably, you can go to mypillow.com, click on the 2-pack special, enter the promo code 979ESPN. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price plus free shipping. Hey, you know what I want to do? I'm going to ask the MyPillow people that the next time I'm pimping my pillow and letting everybody know they should get one too, I want the code. I don't want to confuse anybody because we're selling a lot of pillows. So that's a good thing. We don't want to, break something that's working. But I would like for people to have to say, Jeff Cameron sent me.
That's the code?
Yeah.
Jeff Cameron sent me.
That's what I want him to do. I want him to say, hey, the promo code's 979ESPN, and Jeff Cameron sent me.
That's the longest code of all time.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, that'd be great. Not just because I'd get a lot of credit for stuff, but also because I maybe could convince them to, juice it a little. Like, hey, I'm calling from Tallahassee. I'm using the 979 ESPN code there for the 2-pack special. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to get my 2-pack special with free shipping. And Jeff Cameron sent me. And then the people on the line would go, oh, that's an extra 10% off. All right. Good job, Carol.
Excuse me? Who sent you?
Jeff Cameron.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I got to transfer you to the special hotline.
Here we go. You're going to the place that gets the extra bonus. Maybe not a third pillow, but they could send like a mini blanket or something.
All right.
Yeah,
welcome to the special hotline.
Jeff Cameron sent me. Yeah, that'd be good. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm saving an extra 10% to boot. That's what I want to do the next time I promote this MyPillow thing. I do sleep on MyPillow. It's very comfortable. I think you'll like it. Give it a try. Go to mypillow.com. Click on the 2-pack special. Enter the promo code 979ESPN. 800-944-6596 is the phone number. You can try. I don't think it's going to do anything, but try it. Say, yeah, here's the promo code 979ESPN, and Jeff Cameron sent me. Almost like you got to wink when you do it. Like it's a secret deal. Like you know the deal, and they know the deal. It's like a door.
Oh.
Did he?
They got to be, the people on the phones, working the phones, need to be on their game, though.
Wouldn't that be awful if, like, the thing that meant was that you were inquiring about hookers or something, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, it's that kind of call. You don't want a pillow at all.
Right, so they transfer. Yeah. Like, this is Coach Patino.
Yes. Well, remember, he had to make the call to Bliss and a bunch of other people that got caught up. And like, that's not how you do it. Remember, he had to call. I can take you. This is how you do it.
You don't mess with Tampa.
You don't mess with Tampa.
It's not for people like us.
The seediness of Tampa get a lot of guys in trouble. The Ole Miss thing was still one of my favorites when they found out the escort service was Tampa-based.
What's he calling Tampa for? He doesn't have any recruiting ties down there.
Well, I still love the idea of and there's a lengthy article on the investigation into Ole Miss that you can read. I have not plowed through that thing just yet, but I plan on it. The headline alone, I think it's an SB Nation article, is about how...
Yes, that's a long article.
Oh, yeah.
I've only gone through about 20%.
Is it good? I'm sure it's good.
It's a good start, yeah.
Yeah. Well, my guess is, look, they're going to reveal something you already know. If we've been covering the sport as long as we have, you kind of come to the conclusion these things tend to be willy-nilly and arbitrary as to when the NCAA is going to decide to make a move on a program they know to be cheating while this other one is also cheating and they're not making it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So that always cracks me up. But usually it's where, it's ridiculous, where you're just brazen. You're just like, you don't even give a damn. Like, well, now, sir, I have got to look into this now. You've made it so obvious. It's the guy passing this, the sheriff, the highway patrol. It's you're going 80, you might be all right. You roll past 110 and he's going 80. Here come the lights. We've got to do something. What are you doing? You made me pull you over.
The ultimate test of somebody speeding but doing so in I don't know, a vehicle that everybody knows you don't touch, belongs to somebody, would be after Roy Williams retires at North Carolina, Pitino takes that job. Because Roy got away with...
systematic.
North Carolina
It was
got
going
away
on.
with...
It was going on before he got there, sure. Yeah.
North Carolina got away with creating fake classes. What could Rick Pitino get away with at North Carolina?
See, it's weird because I think the North Carolina thing, creating fake classes, ruining the reputation of the university academically, more than 2 decades worth of absurdities. I believe that partly the NCAA is to blame there too. Now, North Carolina is as well. But remember, they ended up saying that was a university issue, an academic issue separate from athletics.
Correct. Yeah, they couldn't touch it.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to touch it. That's how they were able to excuse away why they didn't do anything for blatant cheating.
That's correct.
It went on for years and years. Meanwhile, the hammer came down on all these little schools for things like, I bought them a McRib. Just
13 scholarships over 4 years.
Right. So that always, that's why we all roll our eyes at that sort of thing. But I feel like North Carolina, maybe I shouldn't give them this much credit. I think they'd be like, now, Rick, listen, seriously. You want a dorm for hookers and recruits?
Yes.
Yes. Do you want championships? Is probably the retort, right? I mean, do you want to win here?
You want things. We all want things. Players want things. So let's all get what we want.
Yeah.
Men want things.
Yeah.
I've wanted. Have you?
You're going to make me go into the Italian restaurant. We're going to relive this entire thing with that poor assistant under the desk.
Have you, Madam Chancellor? It's a lovely 3-piece.
Oh, I love it. Oh, my Lord. I can't segue. I used to be able to in my early 20s. I could have segued from that. I don't think I can do that any longer.
You've seen the provost.
I think we have to move forward and go into hour number 2 here shortly. Hey, Tiger ended up overcoming quote unquote a bad back today to shoot a 72. Uh-oh is right. Is this the beginning of the end? He said quote unquote no biggie. So maybe it's not. It scared me when I read that. I went, back trouble, what?
Well, who mentioned it first would be my question.
I'm going to go check now.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Kraft Nissan Tallahassee was #1 in the entire Atlanta region for month-to-date sales. I repeat, up against every dealer in Atlanta, in South Georgia, and North Florida, Kraft Nissan is leading the pack. So what does this mean? It means that here at Nissan, we are offering Kraft Nissan special promotional pricing and a special allocation of cars. We did not make this offer to any other dealer in the country. Please see the dealer for complete details on the many price-saving metrics available to you. Prices never before seen should make for a robust month-end push at our top dealership. The folks at Kraft are saying thank you in a big way. If you buy any new Nissan before June 1st, you will not only get unheard of, not found anywhere else savings, but Kraft Nissan will give you a free 5-day, 4-night cruise, absolutely free. It's their way of saying thanks. Cruise Nassau, Bahamas or Cozumel, Mexico for 5 great days. And it's on your friends at Kraft Nissan. Limited time offer only available at Kraft Nissan, Tallahassee, Florida.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Effortless Travel would like to wish the softball team the best of luck in the Softball College World Series. Consult with an FSU alum for all your travel needs. Find Effortless Travel at makingtraveleffortless.com.
Hey, Tallahassee, it's me, the Capitol Building. I know you've cracked some jokes about my awesome tower and perfectly symmetrical domes. It's okay, because from on high, I see a serious problem in this town. Scores of people like yourself, confused, hungry, not knowing what to eat for a delicious downtown breakfast or lunch. Well, have no fear. Just a stone's throw away from my observation deck are the best people in the business. Metro Deli. Breakfast, eat, sandwiches, and wraps, too. Metro Deli is the spot for you. Oh, yeah, Metro Deli. And hey, don't throw stones from my deck. That's not cool. Someone might get hurt.
Homeowners, contractors, and builders, don't miss Multi-Stone's huge granite, quartz, and marble remnant sale this Friday and Saturday, June 1st and 2nd from 9 until 5. Find your dream countertop among hundreds of slabs and remnants in our 7-acre yard. 15% of the sales will go to local charities, and the first 25 people to mention this ad will get a free t-shirt. Come to Multi-Stone, located at 4721 Capitol Circle Southwest in Tallahassee, for the giant remnant sale this Friday and Saturday.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. Cavaliers forward Kevin Love has completed the NBA's concussion protocol and will be available for Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight against the Warriors. The series marks the first time in the history of the 4 major North American sports that 2 teams are meeting for a 4th consecutive time for a title. Cavs are a huge underdog in the series, but they could steal a win in Oakland tonight, notes ESPN's Ryan Hollins.
Will LeBron come out firing? Are we going to see 15 to 20 points in the first quarter alone from him? And another thing I look at, and you're going to love this, Mike, physicality. When they were down 3-1, the last time they actually beat the Warriors, they beat them up on the glass. They hit them. They said, like, they did all the little things.
Ryan Hollins on Golic and Wingo. Golden State will be without one of its top defenders, Andre Iguodala, a 5th straight game because of a bone bruise in his knee. Game 1, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 9 Eastern on ABC. Cavaliers coach Ty Lue, in an exclusive interview with ESPN's Rachel Nichols, revealed he's been getting treatment for anxiety and a diet change and medication have helped him feel better. Celtics forward Gordon Hayward had a follow-up surgery to remove the plate and screws in his ankle, was having some pain in one spot that had persisted. The team stressed there's no lingering issues, and this was a way to ensure that Hayward is ready for next season. He's expected to resume basketball activities in 6 to 8 weeks and should be ready for training camp. Capitals coach Barry Trotz expects the NHL to review the hit by Golden Knights defenseman Brayden McNabb that knocked Washington center Evgeny Kuznetsov from Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Kuznetsov suffered an upper body injury. Baseball, Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw returns tonight against the Phillies. He's been out for almost a month because of left biceps tendonitis. And in golf, Tiger Woods 7 off the lead at the Memorial after his opening round 72.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello. You know, I didn't mention this before, and I should have, because I think a lot of people, and I want to give credit where credit's due, Robert Stieg is, I believe, how he pronounces his name. You may have read this, Tom. It came out on the 21st of May, in the month of May that's never ending.
It really has been a rather quick month.
I know. It's just that I don't like 31 days. Anyhow, so here's the deal. There was an article that came out on the USF site that was a comprehensive Gulf Coast offense breakdown.
Well, now.
Yeah, I saw your eyes light up there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had come across it and didn't realize I had saved it and then didn't read it. That's just laziness, Jeff. I'd gotten this article and I had saved it in my inbox. How about that? Forwarded and saying
saved it.
Saved it.
All right.
You don't see that every day.
Boy, that's reprogramming
Saving
right there.
things, doing different things. Well, you've won me over, Tom. You've done it after all these years. I have found a way to adhere to some advice. I give you advice. Sometimes you follow. Sometimes you don't. You give me advice. Sometimes I follow it. Sometimes I don't. That's the way friendships work. But
you know, it really is.
It is. But recently, you've said, well, man, you need to put it in your notes. That's your big thing these days. You've gotten so busy. You're called upon to fill so many roles as a top executive here at 97.9 ESPN Radio.
That's right.
That you've got to make sure you're organized. And you and I are very similar in a lot of ways. There is an organized chaos to the way we go about our days, our business, our memories, all of that stuff. It works where it may look cluttered to you, but to me and Tom, we know. Well, I put that right there. I got this right over here. I can recall this instantly. But at some point, you say, that's just no way to live. It's easier. Just because I can do something this way doesn't mean I should do something this way.
Mm-hmm.
And we have smart women in our lives.
That's true.
And they tell us that. They say, stop being a dumbass. I know you know where this is. I understand that you probably can recall that we did this and then and this was over here. But there's an easier way. There's an easier way. And at some point, your barriers, they come down and you say, I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to listen to her advice, and then I'm going to tell my closest friends about it. And that's what Tom Lang did. Tom got some advice, and then he utilized it. And then in turn, he said, my dear friend Jeff could benefit from this. Internal dialogue. He didn't say it outwardly.
No. And you know what? It wasn't their advice that did it. It wasn't until it was my idea.
Oh, well, okay, so they've tricked you into thinking it was your idea. Whatever the case
idea.
It was that was the deal. But the point was, somewhere along the way, I should say, if I could speak, I think we were on the golf course. That's typically what we're doing.
Well, that's what I've asked you on the golf course for some time. Is like, when things go well, write them down.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is where it started. You said, hey, why don't you write it down? Why don't you put it in your notes? These handy little miniature computers that we carry around with us these days. That's what they're there for. You got a built-in storage unit right there that you don't have to trust yourself to remember. You just put it right there in the notes section, and you go back and reference it before the moment that is necessary. Such as when we meet people. We meet a lot of people in this line of work. It's great to meet people who listen to the program, and I always feel bad because the way that this is set up, fundamentally, they know me, I don't know them. And that's not an arrogant statement. It's that they're listening to a show, and if we're doing our job, they feel like they know us, that we're part of their drive home, whatever it might be, whereas we don't get to see them and know them.
Right.
So I meet them once. They hear me every day, presumably. And, you know, it's difficult.
If they're doing what they're supposed to.
If they're doing what they're supposed to do, that's right. And I feel bad because I'll see somebody, and I've seen them 2 or 3 times, and I think, oh, man, I got no idea. I'm sure that guy's name is Jerry, but I have no idea.
I can't risk it.
I can't risk it. His name could be Kyle, and there I'll be sitting there going, how you doing, Jerry? It's Kyle. Jeff, how are you? And now we're done here. Where do you go from there? I might as well have just peed on you. So, you know.
Whoa, we're not a Carter Finley on a Saturday night.
Or standing next to Corey Clark at the urinal. He pees on people. So anyhow, the point is, it's a Seminole Headlines episode. He talked about it. Peed on a man's shoe. Recently.
What?
Yeah, he wasn't paying attention to what he was doing, which that would cause a fight.
You've got to be kidding.
No, true story. So anyhow.
This was recently?
Relatively, yeah. I think he was somewhere and he did that, yeah.
Oh, man.
Next
week when he comes through the studio.
Ask him about it, yeah.
Well, I just got to go check the archived audio,
just
right?
Whizzing all over it, dude. So, yeah, that's That's a moment, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you apologize for that?
You can't. It's like, it's one thing if you cut somebody off in traffic, you do the hand wave. What do you do? Hey, I just peed on you.
Well, first of all, you got to finish up, and then you can apologize. You can't just be like, hey, man.
Hey, that's a toughie right there.
Sorry, give me a second.
Can't pat him on the back. I mean, that's just a bad deal all the way around. So here's what I was saying that, I hate that when that happens. But now you're like, listen, if we're somewhere, you meet that guy and you think you want to remember him, he's worth remembering, you put that in your notes there. Guy with the crazy Hawaiian shirt you met last time at such and such. His name is Keith or whatever.
That's not accurate. That never happened.
I'm just saying that could happen where you do that and you go, oh, that's Murray. I'll remember Murray.
Well, you might remember
Murray
anyway.
I might remember Murray because his name's Murray. So we were on the golf course, and I was having a good day. Good ball striking day, and you're saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What's the deal? Why is that happening?" I tell you, I got this swing thought with my back of my right hand, and you jot it down. Well, you kept saying that about everything for about a month straight. We would have a conversation, something would come up, it'd have to do with business, it'd have to do with work, it'd have to do with the show. Jot it down, put it in your notes. Then you went so far as to not only do it, you bought yourself a damn planner. And I watched you literally writing these things down. I thought, he has gone all in. It started with just a note on a phone. Now it's like I'm writing a novel over here. So,
and it's been 6 business days since I could find my planner, and it's driving me nuts.
It's freaking you out, right? What'd you do? How do you lose the planner?
I thought it was in the back of my car. I was like, all right, it's in the back of my car. It's okay.
That's
and
great.
It wasn't. And now
you're freaking out.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
So I saved the USF article. We bring it back. And I put it in a section in my email where I said, all right, now you need to save this. Why don't you go back and find it? It's in my manager segment. And I clicked on it, and there it was. And I went, oh, shoot, you never read this thing. You wanted to read this. So I'm just calling attention to the fact that it's out there. There's an article. You can read it. I'm not going to read it to you. Robert Stieg wrote it, USF Gulf Coast Offensive Comprehensive Breakdown, all about Willie Taggart's offense and the matchups, the mismatches, what they're attempting to do. It's replete with video and the whole deal. It's pretty cool. It's worth your time.
Well, there were a couple of things we knew from the word go when he got here, and one you saw right away in the spring game, which is the receivers are going to be spaced as far as they possibly can be spaced.
In the parking lot, buddy. And you talk about creating angles and mismatches and problems in space. Yes, and if you can recruit, like Florida State can recruit to that position, which for years we've done a poor job of recruiting that position, and you make it happen and you recruit to the level you think you should be there, and you bring in the kind of talent that a school like Florida State should draw, and you're able to get into the Tampa area and get some of those kids, woo, yes, I'd like to see the result of what those angles and mismatches are.
That's why I really believe that James Blackman has the inside track here, not just with injury stuff and how
he's been throwing to those guys.
Well, he's got a cannon too. I mean, you're going to be asked to make throws that gain 1 yard, right? But they're going to be 30-yard throws, 35-yard throws. I mean, we're not always out there just to throw a quick bubble to the very end of the field.
No,
I'm
thankfully.
not trying to draw it up in your mind like that, but we're going to be asked to make some serious throws that aren't down the field that require a cannon for an arm. DeAndre's got an arm, but James he's got something now that can get you down the field and to the perimeter in a moment's notice.
It's going to be a fun quarterback competition. I really can't state that enough. I mean, I know we're sitting here last day of May, basically in June. Once we're in June, it's football time. But when you think about that battle, if DeAndre Francois is in fact healthy, fully healthy, and willing to be responsible, and do the things necessary to be a good leader, because he's been a poor leader up to this point and made a ton of bad decisions. And the fact that Bailey Hockman is competent and is a kid that I think can play. I don't know how elite he can be, but he can play. You got a 3-man race. You got Willie's first year, obviously a former quarterback himself, the play caller, trying to instill a new attitude, a new mindset. Certainly he's not been afraid to publicly call out DeAndre Francois. He's creating accountability, in particular at that position, really for his team on the whole. You see that in the classroom, but I think in particular from that position, hence the reason he calls him out on the regular. that competition is going to be about a lot of things. Some of it will be how well can you execute this playbook? How well can you make those throws? But there will be so many other facets and things you can't know, because I don't know how Deondre Francois is going to respond to all of that. I don't know if he's growing up and ready to take on that responsibility, or if his personality is such that he's continued to be aloof.
I think the interesting part is Bailey Hockman. Who is he, the person, and who is he, the leader type? You know, what makes him tick? Because we got to see what makes DeAndre tick and what makes James Blackman tick. And I think James kind of fits what we're trying to do here as a team and a program right now. He's got a chip on his shoulder with the way he plays. He plays with a lot of emotion. And I think this coaching staff is trying to derive some emotion out of this group, dating back to the bowl practices. And Willie said, put some music on. This is crazy.
Yeah, what are we doing? You guys are sleepwalking? You don't want to be here?
If not for you, put it on for me. I just need something. And I feel like James is much more that type of player of the two quarterbacks we've seen start for Florida State the last 2 years. But what is Bailey, practice to practice, and in terms of being able to galvanize the huddle? We just don't know that yet.
So, what's funny? I want to clarify this for people that listen to this show in other states and they didn't get a chance to go out and see those practices, or they didn't know about how the chase was conducted and all that other stuff. I'm here to tell you, as somebody that did go out there, the music is not a distraction. I get an email a week, and I don't know if it's from the older demographic that listens to this show. I'm going to assume as much. But I'll get an email a week where they're like, well, I don't know. Well, there's dancing and music and stuff at practice. I mean, football's a serious game. All that stuff. When you go out there, it's not so loud that you can't hear, that the players can't communicate, that the coaches can't instruct and teach and lead. And the guys, it's between plays. So in play, you're seeing focus, you're seeing execution, you're seeing pace, you're seeing all of those things. Where the guys, I think, are affected by the music are when they get back in line for the drill and they're having fun dancing, waiting on their turn. But it's not a lack of focus. It's not being distracted to the point where you don't know what the hell's going on or what you're being asked to do.
No, it's like going to a gym. If you go to a public gym,
music on, you can finish your press or whatever it is you're doing and not.
Yeah, if you sign up for one of those, group gyms and you're there, not CrossFit, but just like an actual like Planet Fitness, they don't spend with us, but you go there and you're in between sets. I mean, you hear something, you kind of notice it.
Most people work out to music anyhow.
Right.
They put headphones on even if they're not listening to that.
Well, I was wondering if this was a gag, if it was just dry humor or not, but apparently in golf next year, you'll be able to play stuff. You'll be able to wear headsets and around. Like you can listen to music.
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
Starting in January of 19. Now, I don't know if that was a bit or not, but it looked like that was a serious rule change where players can now listen to music during the round.
I don't know why you couldn't be unless you thought it gave somebody an advantage in which they're not affected by the crowd noise and the things that are being yelled, although that's not fundamentally part of the game. So I think they saw
it as a sponsor opportunity so that you could slap logos on there and then there's tribute from Bose or whoever. But,
it's weird. It's funny you bring that up. There's a guy that listens to the show, and nice guy, and I see him at Clarn all the time where I play a lot, and he's on the range constantly. Real good player. And every time I watch him hit a bucket of balls, he's got a headset in, he's just grooving to music, and I think, I can't do that. I need to hear it come off my club, but he's a much better player. It's coming off the center of his club face more often than mine, so I don't think he has to worry about it. He just goes by feel there, and I know you can go by feel.
But to bring it back home, if you wrote notes down, you'd be that much closer to squaring it up.
Put it in your notes, Jeff. Put it in your notes, I tell you. And now as we go to break, I'm going to desperately search for this planner because I'm proud of the step you took just to ever get to a planner. You can't lose it.
No, I don't know.
You need to make notes about where you left your planner in the notes.
Well, that's the other thing is, like, if you're putting in a planner, then you got to check the planner. You can't forget to do that. It defeats the whole purpose.
A whole lot of stuff going on there, man. Big step. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, Your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Located right behind the Best Western on North Monroe. Lunch specials start at $7.99. Be sure to try their award-winning house-made burger. Big lunch parties are also welcome. Wahoo Seafood Grill makes lunch specials a very affordable choice. Delivery is available and plenty of parking. Wahoo Seafood Grill. Easy access from any part of town using I-10. Visit them online at wahooseafoodgrill.com or call them today at 850-629-4059.
At Advance Auto Parts, we offer you the quality parts you want and knowledge you need to help get you back on the road. And we're always looking for ways to help you save. Right now, get CarQuest conventional motor oil for just $2.96 a quart. Talk about an amazing price. Plus, find great prices on CarQuest's full line of motor oil. Go to Advance or participating CarQuest Auto Parts stores to take advantage of this great offer while it lasts. Advance Auto Parts, where oil is priced like it should be.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Commercial lawnmowers don't have odometers, but if they did, you might be surprised to see you could be mowing thousands of miles a year. That's why Gravely zero-turn mowers are built for the long haul. So when you're mowing the equivalent of Miami through Kentucky bluegrass country, all the way to Seattle, and back again every year, you can count on your Gravely zero-turn mower to get the job done, mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Over 150 new zero turns in stock. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view inventory and pricing. In Thomasville, Georgia.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to give you special savings on the toughest tractors and utility vehicles on earth during the Mahindra Red Tag Sale. Hurry in for up to $7,900 in cashback and Red Tag savings. Only from Mahindra.
Up to $7,900 in cash back savings. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view selection.
Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Program restrictions may apply.
TNT. In Thomasville, Georgia.
Shot, save, rebound, score! The playoffs are here. The Corner Pocket is your home all spring long for all the heart-pounding moments in the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs. It's held in a shot, save, The Corner Pocket on Appalachia Parkway next to Earth Fair is your headquarters for Trivia Tuesdays, Beer Bingo Thursdays, and of course, all the moments you'll never forget. For the championship! The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Now, they say it's not this, but you've seen this C.J. Harris story. It's a high school senior from Georgia. He's got epilepsy. And he's been ruled ineligible from playing at Auburn. And the reason initially reported from WGXA was that he's taking cannabis oil as medication. And he had been given a preferred walk-on status from Warner Robins High School. He had seizures for years, finally was prescribed cannabis oil after his dad read an article that it can be of help medically. He hasn't had a seizure since he's been on the cannabis oil. And his dream was to play Division I college football, play in the NCAA. But Auburn has now said and told his father that he cannot compete while he's taking the oil. Athletes can't have THC in their systems. Now, Auburn says that's not true. That's not why we denied him that status, but rather because we looked at his medical records and we said, no, we're not doing that. I don't know what's true, what's not true, but I sure hope it has nothing to do with the cannabis oil, because what are we, cavemen? Are we so backwards ass that we can't recognize that there are medicinal purposes for this stuff, and that if it's going to stop somebody from having seizures, we probably should let them take it, especially since it affects nobody else?
I think the issue here, I would hope it's not that either. It's probably just a liability
I would think
issue.
It's a liability, and I understand that if it's the other, if it's a person that's had 14 or however many seizures he's had and they don't feel comfortable allowing him to play football there because of medical concerns that have nothing to do with cannabis oil, then so be it. I get that. I'm not a doctor. I'd have to look into that case more if we were going to expound on this topic further. But if it's solely because of the cannabis oil, people grow up. Sweet Jesus, who cares? I mean, that's just ridiculous. I don't even smoke marijuana, by the way. People probably think I do. I don't. I mean, I'm not against it either. But I mean, I'm 46 years old with 2 kids. I don't have time to be smoking weed. Wish I did, but I don't. And so the point is, it's not that. I'm not sitting here going, hey, no, it's not that. It's just how dumb. It's common sense. What are we doing?
Yeah. Given the strength of some of the shots you'll get or some of the painkillers you may be prescribed to deal with football injuries, yeah, I could see where there's folly in that. I just wonder if they, if it's logistically speaking, they don't want to have to assign a specific, person from their medical staff to be able to monitor this young man all the time, and that's a full-time job for some. I could get where that would get dicey, because then you're setting a precedent, but it's tough to know the specifics of that case. One thing I did know is when you said Warner Robins, remember
we passed right through there, buddy.
That was the Dunkin' Donuts that was run with efficiency unknown to mankind.
Well-run Dunkin' Donuts we have ever encountered in this great land, I tell you. We thought, my goodness, who would have thunk it right there in Warner Robins? They've got a Dunkin' Donuts operating at peak potential.
It's a couple of miles, closer to 5 probably, off of the highway.
Yeah, it was an accident.
Well, you were desperate. We passed one, but then you were desperate. I got to get some. So
I said coffee. It's not the donuts, right? It was the coffee. We
right.
To get,
yeah, but you wanted that specific brand because we're on the road, and trust. It's a trusted brand.
I know that it's going to be good coffee.
So if you head northbound, it's on the right hand side. So you head east for a little bit.
But I also didn't think it was 5 miles off the path. I thought I hate when they trick you. When they just have the arrow that says,
yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, it's got to be right there. And then you're in some back-ass neighborhood where you're like, what in the world? Where is this Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah, this was across from a strip mall. Might have been like a Lowe's or something like that. But we made the trek out there. If you're heading that way on 75, that's a trustworthy Dunkin' Donuts now. You won't be disappointed.
If that same dude is running it, because if that's the case, then you are golden. But he could have sold it. It may have exceeded all expectations, and he turned it around for a tidy profit.
He seemed like he enjoyed that job. He presided over the...
I think I would. There was a Dunkin' Donuts on Monroe when I first started in radio here in Tallahassee doing mornings, and I was up at the butt crack of dawn, and there it was that I was up, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, sometimes not having gone to bed. Don't like to admit that now. But anyhow, that said, there were times where, obviously, I needed a strong cup of coffee to start the day. Tom, that's every day, even to this day. But that one on Monroe, which has since become 47 other things and is no longer a Dunkin' Donuts, I think it became one of those silly things like sign your life away and we'll give you some cash for today.
Really?
One of those joints?
One of those Montel Williams places?
Yeah. So that was a Dunkin' Donuts. Did I ever tell the story? I was responsible. I hadn't done anything wrong. I was up early. I had to show prep. Back then, you show prep by reading every newspaper because you weren't printing things out in mass. But anyhow, I had my papers. I had my outline. Was just getting my coffee. Pulled in there. The place was run for a long time by this cute little Indian man. And there I'd go in there. And one day I pull up, and there's a cop there, and his gun is drawn. Not on me, but something was amiss, and something had set off the alarm or something like that, and the door was half cracked open, and I pulled into the wrong situation. I thought, oh, no, this poor man's been shot. I was going to be devastated.
Because you didn't get your coffee.
No, I would have been upset that he was no longer with us, but also I would have liked a cup of coffee, but yeah, so it turned out everything was all right. It was just he thought maybe somebody had broken into the place.
You think if there's a crime scene there and the cops have to be there for a while, do they just turn the pot on? I mean, we're here.
We have to investigate. Yeah. You want some coffee, Bob?
Looks like he prepped it.
Sure thing, Ted. Anyhow, sucks for him. What do you think did it? Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, cops can be very cynical in that they have a wonderful sense of humor, jaded as most officers would be.
Allows them to be wired to handle these circumstances.
Well, you see the worst of human beings on a daily basis. It's hard not to become cynical. I mean, you don't think much of us as a society, as a group of. Yeah, I would imagine so. You're like, look at that. Fresh pot of coffee, though, Keith. Yeah, I'm sure that happens. Yeah, perhaps. That's although I don't think you're probably supposed to touch anything in that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure.
What if there's some splatter? You know what I mean? You wouldn't want to.
What if our killer grabbed the pot of coffee?
What if he wanted a cup on his way out the door?
Prints here that we need.
Over under 214 points tonight. You can only find props for the NBA to make this finals remotely interesting. And I'm here to tell you, and a little bit of Big Daddy J is sweeping in here to save the day. If you're going to go that route, believe it or not, and I think it's a misnomer that's out there, and I just want to warn you. I want to put my hand up and say, hey, don't fall for the okie doke. Golden State's not the team they were. Golden State's not the team that operates as fluidly as they once did with great ball movement. They often get stagnant, and they settle for bad shots. And it's interesting. They seem disinterested by and large for long stretches at a time. And so between that and the fact that Cleveland's going to want to uglify these games, they're going to want to – I don't think they're going to want to get up and down the floor here. You're going to want to play the shot clock and try to really make it a low-possession game. I'm just here to talk to you in your rooting interests. You may want to take the unders, plural, in these games. Game one's not one I mess with. I like to see matchups. I like to see how things are going to look. I have no idea how Kevin Love's going to play, for example, when he comes back tonight. But by and large, that's come in at over 80%.
And maybe Golden State finally cares, and that's the time bomb that you're worried about.
Yeah, that's why you don't mess with game one. You just watch the game and enjoy the game.
Right. Did anything happen at the Dunkin' Donuts with the cop and his gun drawn? What happened?
No, it was a mistake. Something, I don't know. God, it's been so many years ago. Nobody broke in, and the guy was fine, and I just think somehow the alarm got tripped, something like that. But I remember nothing became of it. It was no big deal. I was told to leave. That's all that happened.
You complied?
Oh, yeah. I was already on the verge of leaving when I pulled up, but I got the wave off.
Krispy Kreme it is.
I got the wave off. You keep it going. So you betcha. I'm out of here. Yeah, winking a point. Sure thing, partner. I'm out of here. You do your crime fighting thing, and I'm going to take you to the studios. Godly. Those were early days, Tom.
Did they have good coffee at the studios in those days?
No. Awful. That's why I was always stopping at the Dunkin' Donuts. The coffee there was terrible. Back in those days, when I was not a very healthy person, in the sense that I was in shape, but I didn't take care of myself, I'd go there and I'd meet the morning team from TNT, and we'd have a coffee and a smoke, Tom. That's how we began each morning.
Everybody in the radio business had a smoke.
Back then, yeah.
I mean,
I was never really a smoker, but I would back then. I'd have one before I went on the air.
The traffic department has always been a chimney.
Oh, well, they got no chance.
Always.
They're in traffic. What are you going to do?
Right. But I feel like everybody, when I walked in that building, they either did or they used to smoke. And I was this first generation.
You were
wave
the
of
first
people.
generation of radio people that didn't smoke. Yeah. It's like if you get sent to, like if you're in traffic, it's like getting sent to prison. You might as well start smoking. What are you going to do? I mean, you got to do something to keep your sanity.
Every business I've been in, though, or every radio station group with regional, local, traffic ladies are all heavy smokers.
Rode hard, put up wet. Those traffic ladies. Woo.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with Easy Laundry Service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's Easy Laundry Service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Time now for your Atlanta Braves Minute. Brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey. Personal injury law is all they do.
Wednesday night at SunTrust Park, the Braves fell to the Mets by a score of 4-1, settling for a 4-game split with the Mets. The game would remain scoreless into the top of the fourth when Jay Bruce led the inning off with a double and later scored on an RBI double from Adrian Gonzalez. Then in the seventh, New York tacked on another run as Brandon Nimmo blooped a 2-out RBI single to center. Julio Teheran would allow 2 earned runs on 5 hits over 7 innings of work before the Atlanta offense got one back in the bottom of the seventh on this laser off the bat of Johan Camargo.
Camargo with Mom here at SunTrust Park watching, waiting for a 3-1 pitch. Here it comes, and there it goes. Line drive to deep right field toward the chop house, and gone! For the second straight day, Johan Camargo with a chop shot.
Jim Powell with the call you heard right here on the Braves Radio Network. New York got that run right back in the 8th, though, and would never look back as Adrian Gonzalez drove in Jose Bautista with an RBI single to right. Braves now welcome the Nationals to town for a 4-game series starting tonight. Sean Newcomb gets the ball in tonight's series opener, while the Nationals counter with Tanner Roark. Hear the call live from SunTrust Park right here on the Braves Radio Network. First pitch is set for 7:35 p.m. Eastern. With the Braves, I'm Kevin McAlpin for the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Cornerstone Tool & Fastener would like to wish the baseball team best of luck in the Tallahassee Regional. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, big store pricing with local service. 2 locations to choose from, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway.
I'm Fred Conrad, and I'm a criminal defense lawyer. For almost 20 years, I've been practicing DUI law in Tallahassee. Did you know if you're arrested for a DUI in Florida, your driver's license will be suspended regardless of whether you refuse a breath test or if you give a breath sample over the legal limit? And you only have 10 days from the date of the arrest to contest the suspension. Did you know in Florida, a DUI conviction will stay on your record for the rest of your life? If you've been arrested for a DUI, don't blow it. Call my office and talk to me today, 222-4005, or visit my website, fredconrad.com. I'll personally handle your case.
You are a hero. You may not fight killer robots, but a crabby toddler can be a formidable foe. Luckily, you're armed with a Chrysler Pacifica. Its best-in-class Uconnect theater can defeat any temper tantrum. And when cargo space is in danger, Pacifica's trusty class-exclusive Stow & Go always comes to the rescue. Get a great deal at the Chrysler Incredible Sales Event.
Available feature based on the FCA US LLC Premium Advanced Second. Chrysler and Uconnect are registered trademarks of FCA US LLC.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. Cavaliers forward Kevin Love has completed the NBA's concussion protocol and will be available for Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight against the Warriors. The series marks the first time in the history of the 4 major North American sports that 2 teams are meeting for a 4th consecutive time for a title. Cavs are a huge underdog in the series, but they could steal a win in Oakland tonight, notes ESPN's Ryan Hollins.
Will LeBron come out firing? Are we going to see 15 to 20 points in the first quarter alone from him? And another thing I look at, and you're going to love this, Mike, physicality. When they were down 3-1, the last time they actually beat the Warriors, they beat them up on the glass. They hit them. They said, like, they did all the little things.
Ryan Hollins on Golick and Wingo. Golden State will be without one of its top defenders, Andre Iguodala, a 5th straight game because of a bone bruise in his knee. Game 1, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 9 Eastern on ABC. Cavaliers coach Ty Lue, in an exclusive interview with ESPN's Rachel Nichols, revealed he's been getting treatment for anxiety and a diet change and medication have helped him feel better. Celtics forward Gordon Hayward had a follow-up surgery to remove the plate and screws in his ankle, was having some pain in one spot that had persisted. The team stressed there's no lingering issues, and this was a way to ensure that Hayward is ready for next season. He's expected to resume basketball activities in 6 to 8 weeks and should be ready for training camp. Capitals coach Barry Trotz expects the NHL to review the hit by Golden Knights defenseman Brayden McNabb that knocked Washington center Evgeny Kuznetsov from Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Kuznetsov suffered an upper body injury. Baseball, Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw returns tonight against the Phillies. He's been out for almost a month because of left bicep tendonitis. And in golf, Tiger Woods 7 off the lead at the Memorial after his opening round 72.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You'll storm the border without me.
Jeff Cameron Show 97.9 ESPN Radio. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. You guys know that, right? Bucks had the NFL's worst pass defense last year. Article today, why do they have the same safeties again? But the discussion talking point there, rightfully, is people raising their hand going, no, wait a minute, that's not fair. We had no pass rush. You can't cover anybody for 9-10 seconds at a time.
It's two-part, and Evans was a nice piece by the end of the season, the rookie. So
yeah. I agree with that. Hey, I read something today that, it didn't surprise me, but everybody's favorite Matt Baker had an article in the Tampa Times asking the question during the SEC meetings in Destin, Florida. Welcome back, Jimbo Fisher. Just 150 miles away, Tom.
Over there in Destin.
Destin, that's right. Destin's beautiful. I wish it's got a little overpopulated, but the Hilton Sandestin, I have stayed there many a time.
Yeah?
It's beautiful.
All right.
Jimbo Fisher was there. He said he didn't want to get caught up in talking about what his legacy was at Florida State. He's been asked a lot. Hey, what's your legacy at Florida State? What do you think about the way you left Florida State University? And he said, well, I don't get caught up in worrying about the way I'm perceived by others at the school because if you're looking back all the time, you're worried you didn't do things right, and I have no worries.
Who you convincing here, Coach?
But I thought, by the way, for all the people that want to escape these kinds of things, inevitably, given that he now coaches in the SEC, he's going to be in the South. They're going to be, he's going to be in close proximity on a fairly regular basis. But he was not in the mood to discuss legacy yesterday. He sat in a maroon and white shirt, not too far off from the Garnet, and people wanted to talk about, hey, you're not that far away. You could just get a hop, skip, and a jump, maybe go pick up that Christmas tree you threw out there on the corner.
Just saving it for later.
Yeah, go back and pick that thing up. The actual quote was, I don't believe you think about that. I don't think you worry about what people think of you. If you worry about what people think of you, you're not doing what you think is right all the time. So 6 months since the dramatic departure, as written here by Mr. Baker, there are conflicting beliefs as to what the legacy of Jimbo Fisher will be. And I do think, rightfully pointed out in the article during the SEC meetings here, is that it is mixed. It is a guy that did something you seldom see done when following a legend. 4 of Bowden's peers, Steve Spurrier, Joe Paterno, Tom Osborne, Philip Fulmer, the men who immediately replaced them went a combined 103-48. Just 3 top 10 finishes. So, if you look at Jimbo Fisher, while the upset loss was always part of his legacy as well, NC State, Louisville, Georgia Tech, sweet Jesus, Virginia, senior night, toughies.
Man, the ACC did us a solid that night, too. They gave us about 7 opportunities to win that game.
They're like, come on.
Come on, man.
Guys, you got to win this game. Yeah.
Same thing with the 12 Florida game that I brought up a lot lately. But Flanagan's crew that day actually was pretty pro Florida State.
They were. 83-23, though, Jimbo went. That's a 783 clip, considerably better than the other winning percentage that I just noted. 4 top 10 seasons and a national championship as well. And moreover, I think the other talking point here that we do not get into as frequently is Jimbo remains basically the only success story, I think, real success story, as in elite success, of the head coach in waiting experiment that was in vogue at the time. Dana Holgorsen has never finished higher than 17th in the country in 7 years at West Virginia. He was a head coach in waiting there. Will Muschamp obviously did nothing. I almost said something else. But
he left.
Yes, he left. He never became the head coach of Texas. And, you go around, you look, that's it, right? He made it work.
Yes, he will be, if anybody else is named a head coach in waiting or anybody else has to follow a legend.
The standard.
Right, yeah. So let's say whoever follows up for Saban in Alabama, they'll use the Jimbo Fisher example. They'll say, well, it worked for Jimbo.
The best part of any of the quotes, and there are multiple quotes from different people in the article, it's not a deep dive. You don't even need to waste your time reading it. But what was interesting was, he did get quotes from fans, from, supporters.
Oh, really?
Of Florida State. And the conclusion, I think, that we really would all kind of agree upon here is it comes in the last quote. A fan named Chris Chris Belts in the article said, "Well, I'm really glad he was here. I'm also really glad he's not here." I think that's there.
Two
you
things,
go.
two competing ideas.
It can happen, right? I think that's true.
When you apply it to this situation, it makes perfect sense.
Absolutely, doesn't it? I thought, well, that is absolutely where even the most staunch supporter or those most ardently against Jimbo at his time at the end here would maybe find middle ground.
Yeah, only the insane would say that they're not happy he's gone, given the evidence, and only the insane would say they were never happy he was here, because you have to be. I mean, thank you, Jimbo, for ending the lost decade. That's from the bottom of my heart. Us lost decadians, I think we have an appreciation for Jimbo that's probably a little different than people who were here for the bulk of the Bowden tenure. If you just arrived on campus in time for the lost decade, you really do appreciate the beginning of the Jimbo era. It was much needed, and it made us all weep with joy. So I'm thankful for that.
By the way, I will say this, and I'll just note it because it intrigued me. When I was reading that article very early this morning and I was prepping for today's show, I came across another article. You know, Publix, Tom, a frequent show topic that ought not be since they don't spend money with us, but they certainly have an opportunity to. It's a place that I love so much that I let it override reason and talk about them in a way as if they do spend money with us. So here's the thing. We all feel strongly that that's one of Florida's great establishments. I mean, I have been all around the world, and I've been all around this country, certainly. Let's see, I've been to 38 of the 50 states. So, 40 of the 50 states.
That's here 41?
No, I got to sit down and think about this for a second. But anyhow, you know how I do it? I think of all the baseball stadiums I've been to.
Right.
But anyhow, and my point of that is this. Wherever you are, great, incredible place like New York City or Denver, Colorado, or Los Angeles, California, to little small towns throughout the South, wherever it is you are, if there's a Publix, and there isn't in those other places, you go, all right, we're doing business here. Now we're cooking with gas. Because there has never been a supermarket that I've ever stepped in that's unique to a region that's anywhere close to a Publix. Now, I say that to say this. The article that drew my attention while reading from the Tampa Times was, why do they have the freaking scale there? I've wondered it for years. When you go into it, they always have the giant scale. The original one, they still have it. And it's because when that grocery chain began.
It's too late.
Yeah. You couldn't weigh yourself. Scales didn't exist. Like the in-home scales didn't happen. You had to pay money to weigh yourself or be at a doctor's appointment. So they thought, well, we'll just make it convenient for people.
Little value added.
A little value added thing there, and then that just became a thing. They're now expanding to throughout the South, and they're not going to put the scale in the other stores. So if you're getting a Publix in Georgia or North Carolina or Virginia where they're expanding to, you don't get the scale. Only Florida gets the scale because they figure you won't miss what you never had. That's the way they're looking at it. And, oh, by the way, the article went on to tell me this, which made me laugh because it's ruthless. It's hilarious. In researching that, they found that has been a topic for a long time and that some people wrote letters to the editor or to Publix way back in the 70s and 80s about the scale. And one of them was from a woman who was furious at a customer, a shopper, who waited for her son to get on the scale, a particularly overweight young man, when the shopper said, "Hope you don't break it."
And here we go.
I thought, well, you know how cold-blooded you have to be to say to a kid as he gets on the scale, "Hope you don't break it." You talk about tough love, Cameron. Whoever that woman was, good God. So this lady wrote a letter pissed off about it.
I can only think about, one or two people that I've ever come across who could deliver that line and not have it land insultingly. Like, they could deliver it and be like, oh, okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
One of them we know, and he's a recent friend of the program.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll tell you who. I can't describe him. There's no way I could without outing him.
Oh,
so.
okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One of the guys at Gordo's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
could do it.
He could do it.
Convertible.
Oh, he could do it.
He could do it. Hope we don't break it.
And it would. You would be like that gruff.
You turn around like, wow, thanks a lot.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
Right. You're like, guy's set in his ways.
Hope you don't break it is just wrong. I read that whole article, and it's much more detailed, but I'm obviously giving you the short version there. But as I read it, I read that quote. I literally was sipping coffee this morning, 6:45 a.m. The kids were getting ready to go to school. My wife was running around, hurried.
They're still in school?
Yeah, the last day of school today.
Oh.
And so I'm reading this article, and she hears me cracking up in the living room. I mean, literally, you know how people say I spit my coffee out, or what? I almost did. I read that quote. I went, what kind of gangster is sitting next to the scale and just waits for some fat ass to get on there and goes, hope you don't break it. Like
That's their day. That's their day.
That is just ruthless. I mean, that kid's going to have problems for a long time.
Been better. The story would have been better if the kid just
cold cocked him. Yeah,
it's like, all right, we're just in the wild
we're
west here.
We're just allowed to do whatever.
Like, so you rolled into that Publix from out of town. You're like, what in the hell? This is the most bass-ackwards Publix of all time.
I would have been like, this is an awesome place. Look at this. We've got insults flying, fists retorting. I'm just trying to buy some
hitting old people.
I'm just trying to buy some corn. Why do they have a giant scale to begin with? Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary. Get your history lesson weekdays at 5:30 during the Jeff Cameron Show, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Mellow Mushroom would like to wish the baseball team the best of luck in the Tallahassee Baseball Regional. Mellow Mushroom serving up pizza and more on West Pensacola Street, just a line drive away from the ballpark.
Hi, honey. How was your day?
It was fine. Pretty uneventful. How about you?
Well, I called the auditors this afternoon and made an appointment for one to come out to the house.
Wait, what? Have you lost your mind? Auditors? Why would you call them? Now we have to find our tax returns, paycheck stubs, and financial records, not to mention all those forms. Good grief.
Relax, honey. It's not that kind of auditor.
It's not?
No. I called the City of Tallahassee Utilities and scheduled a free energy audit.
Energy audit?
Right. It's when an energy auditor from our own utilities comes out to the house, examines the structure, and checks our energy and water systems, and then recommends changes we might make to save energy, water, and money.
And you said it's free?
Absolutely. It's free from the City of Tallahassee Utilities, our own utilities.
Sounds good to me. Let's save some money.
If you're a City of Tallahassee residential, electric, and natural gas customer, you can schedule a free energy audit. Call 891-4YOU. That's 891-4968. And schedule your free energy audit at a time most convenient for you. A message from the City of Tallahassee Utilities, your own utilities.
Working their way into the summer, DeWalt and Cornerstone Tool and Fastener are turning up the heat. Buy one DeWalt 20-volt Max XR lithium-ion brushless premium hammer drill and impact driver combo kit with two 5-amp-hour batteries and receive $100 off instantly. And you get one of the following DeWalt Bear tools for free: a 5-inch grinder, recip saw, or an LED spotlight. That's a 3-piece kit. Come check out all the new DeWalt products at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. And while you're there, check out the most powerful cordless kit on the planet, GoVolt FlexVolt. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway.
You are a hero. You may not fight killer robots, but a crabby toddler can be a formidable foe. Luckily, you're armed with a Chrysler Pacifica. Its best-in-class Uconnect theater can defeat any temper tantrum. And when cargo space is in danger, Pacifica's trusty class-exclusive Stow and Go always comes to the rescue. Get a great deal at the Chrysler Incredible Sales Event.
Available feature based on the FCA US LLC Premium Minivan 7. Chrysler and Uconnect are registered trademarks of FCA US LLC.
Do you work in construction, photography, or real estate and use a drone for your job? Did you know that the FAA requires you to be licensed? That's right. All commercial use drone operators have to be a Part 107 license. Have questions? Contact the drone experts at TCC's Wakulla Environmental Institute. Go to tcc.fl.edu and search drones or call 850-558-3500. That's 850-558-3500. Remember, the FAA requires all commercial use drone operators to be licensed.
It's back. The 10th annual Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boating Center Red Trout Shootout Fishing Tournament, presented by United Rentals on June 30th. This year, compete for a guaranteed purse of over $10,000 paid out in cash to the top 10 teams, weighing in the heaviest combined weight of one redfish and one sea trout. Get registered today by stopping in at Bass Pro Shops or log on to redtroutshootout.com. Save $20 per angler if you register by June 24th. It's the Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boating Center Red Trout Shootout on June 30th.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. Cavaliers forward Kevin Love has completed the NBA's concussion protocol and will be available for Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight against the Warriors. The series marks the first time in the history of the four major North American sports that two teams are meeting for a fourth consecutive time for a title. Cavs are a huge underdog in the series, but they could steal a win in Oakland tonight, notes ESPN's Ryan Hollins.
Will LeBron come out firing? Are we going to see 15 to 20 points in the first quarter alone from him? And another thing I look at, and you're going to love this, Mike, physicality. When they were down 3-1, the last time they actually beat the Warriors, they beat them up on the glass. They hit them. They said, like, they did all the little things.
Ryan Hollins on Golic and Wingo. Golden State will be without one of its top defenders, Andre Iguodala, a fifth straight game because of a bone bruise in his knee. Game 1, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 9 Eastern on ABC. Cavaliers coach Ty Lue, in an exclusive interview with ESPN's Rachel Nichols, revealed he's been getting treatment for anxiety and a diet change and medication have helped him feel better. Celtics forward Gordon Hayward had a follow-up surgery to remove the plate and screws in his ankle, was having some pain in one spot that had persisted. The team stressed there's no lingering issues, and this was a way to ensure that Hayward is ready for next season. He's expected to resume basketball activities in 6 to 8 weeks and should be ready for training camp. Capitals coach Barry Trotz expects the NHL to review the hit by Golden Knights defenseman Brayden McNabb that knocked Washington center Evgeny Kuznetsov from Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Kuznetsov suffered an upper body injury. Baseball, Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw returns tonight against the Phillies. He's been out for almost a month because of left bicep tendonitis. And in golf, Tiger Woods 7 off the lead at the Memorial after his opening round 72.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Final hour of the Jeff Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. If you miss anything, don't worry about it. We'll get you caught up. All 3 hours get posted every day upon the conclusion of the program, both to iTunes and in our own audio vault. You know, I had cause to navigate the iTunes and our own audio vault, Tom, that I promote each and every day as we start each hour. Found it incredibly easy to locate this show, the Front Row Knowles, all of it.
Seminole headlines.
I did. I went looking. I was looking for a stat and a quote and a soundbite and some other things. Plus, I wanted to just listen to what I missed in with the Front Row Knowles yesterday, because I knew Eric Llewellyn was on. I wanted to hear that interview. I missed that yesterday, and I always love listening to Tim. So I wanted to catch up. That's a true story. And I, as I'm wont to do, I wake up early and earlier today than normal for no real good reason. I was rather pissed about that. But anyhow, I was up, and I had fed the dogs. Kids were still sleeping, and I said, as I sip my coffee and begin my day, I'm going to listen in on the things that I missed. I so seldom get a chance to do so. So let's do this. And I went, and I did not go directly to iTunes. I went to our website, and I saw how easy it was, buddy.
Good. I'm glad that you were pleased with the experience.
I was, and I found it, and I listened.
Because if you weren't, I would have heard about it sooner than right now.
It would have been the very first thing I said
now,
to
Tom,
you.
what the hell is wrong with our site?
That's exactly how that would have gone. I think you are correct.
We need to upgrade this. This ain't getting it done, Tom. This site.
Hey, but I'm a watchdog.
You are. No,
it's good.
We need you for that reason.
I would have said, This isn't
what we do. Should add that to your title. You have a title of that I suppose. But you're a sports director.
Mm-hmm.
But you should add web consultant on there, because if something's wrong with
right,
technology,
but that might imply that I was going to be able to fix said problem, and I have no chance of telling anybody how to do that. I'll just tell you that it needs to be done.
Well, you could be the web quality consultant.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes, if you got an issue.
Something's wrong.
But I've probably noted it already and come in and said something, either to you or to Matthew or to somebody who can fix the problem.
Well, with the original website when we first moved over.
Yeah, that was
every day.
Yeah,
it
was ridiculous.
It was, but there were so many other pressing things that needed to be done.
People like to go on the web and find their stuff, man. And you agreed with it. You said, "I know." We're getting there. We're
trying, man.
We're trying to get there. Some other things going on. I'm like, come on, dude. This website's pitiful.
So we had that old website, the old board, the old microphones.
Oh,
remember all that?
Yes, I do. It was. We have really taken this place to new heights. Thank goodness.
F&A cotton.
Yeah, it is something to behold. My goodness gracious. But I was just wanting to report to everybody that if you do need to find archived audio. Oh, well, this is the second part of that. So I wanted to hear Eric Llewellyn because it's regional time, baby. And I knew they interviewed him, and I wanted his thoughts on our seed. I wanted his thoughts on the regional and the season that was. All in preparation, of course, for the game tomorrow, but also my interview with Mike Martin Jr., long form. You'll hear it tomorrow. I was gathering information and kind of checking my notes and making sure I didn't go awry. And in doing so, I came across something hilarious. You know how I tongue-in-cheek tell people sometimes when I do the introduction to make sure they go and leave a review. It makes it easier for others to find the program.
Yes.
I'm copying other podcasts that say that, and I'm making fun of it for those that don't know. But I think it does work. I do believe that's true. And I listen to a bunch of different podcasts, but one of them is a National Geographic one that I like, and they always say that at the end, and I'm always like, man, they're just unabashed about pimping this. And they beg for people to give reviews. And so it occurred to me when I went on ours to find an episode that we'd done recently with an interview that I had done, and then I went and found the Front Row Knowles as well. And I was like, oh, there's a review. And there was one review, and it was the only one I could see. That's the only one that was present on my phone, was this really nice review that came in, I think it was April, where somebody was like, I love the show. I went to school there back in 2007. I live in wherever the hell I live, and it's great.
We were Kitchener.
No, they live in like North Carolina or something like that, and they listen to it all the time. And I thought, oh, well, that's nice. Somebody did that. That's cool. But then if you click more, you can read more.
Oh, boy.
No, it's great. So I was like, I've never looked at this. In the 5 years that I've been doing this show here, I've never once looked at a singular review.
How many are there? I don't know.
There's not a lot. Well, I stopped after 10. I don't know how many there are. There's not a lot. And by and large, they're nice, which is kind of the opposite of like drive-through service. Like if you get bad drive-through service, it's the only time you're going to mention the drive-through. You know, if you get good drive-through service, you don't stop and circle back and walk in and go, you guys just did a kick-ass job. That never happens.
I got out of my car to come in here and tell you, well done.
Well done. That never happens.
Take my hand.
It's only when you're going to complain. So what I thought I would see is a bunch of complaints, which makes more sense. The people would be like, this guy's an ass. I hate him. Whatever. But no, by and large, they were all really nice, except for this one person. And this review was from years ago. But it cracked me up. I basically think they think I'm a heathen of some sort. They feel like I'm certainly not as religious as they'd like me to be. Let's just put it that way.
They're on to you is what you're saying.
That's what they said.
They're on to you.
They said this. They had that line in the thing, and that's all. But that's all they wrote. They didn't write anything else. They didn't write that. It's just that. I was like, so think of the person that takes the time. I'm going to go on there and review this podcast and let everybody know what they're reckoning to get here.
This pagan.
Yeah.
This guy.
Right, yeah. Like that was the best. I thought, really? So this poor bastard, that's that person's life. Can you imagine just doing that?
Running into him was like what the Romans found when they got to Ireland. They're like, what is this?
What is going on here?
This freaking guy.
These people. Man alive. That was great. The person that took the time to go and do that. I am absolutely mystified. I love it.
Well, the Lord works in mysterious ways, Jeff.
I guess so. This person was
It affected you. Clearly, it worked.
Well, it affected me, my funny bone.
See you at church on Sunday.
I laughed for 15 minutes just thinking of the person that goes to do that, like the situation they find themselves in. Then the more I thought about it, I realized, well, that's terrible. That poor person, they got nothing. That's why they had to do that. Then I got sad, and I decided to move on.
But not before mentioning it here.
Well, right. But I'm talking about the relative ease and all the things you can do.
But they did have recourse. It's called an iTunes review. You could communicate to others.
9:30 tonight. I will be watching the women play softball. In fact, I care more about that matchup than I do Cleveland and Golden State. What has the world come to where I can admit that openly? Well, it's a good place to be, but also mean it. Like, I'm serious. I'm going to be locked in. I'll have Golden State and Cleveland on. Don't get me wrong. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, Golden State will be indifferent enough, as they have frequently been in these playoffs, to give us a reason to think that an upset's possible. As we sit here today, I tell you, it's hard to imagine a way, save for LeBron James going for 50 and 20 a night, that Cleveland, and I mean that literally.
And even then.
Yeah, that Cleveland can win. I don't know how I don't know how it can happen. They just don't have enough players. And I hate that that's what we get, that's what's going to be on display. So luckily we have something else to tune into.
Speaking of enough players, you think if Cleveland ran 6 out there against Golden State's 5?
It could win, yeah.
You think they could win at that point?
It would certainly be a series. I mean, you're talking about 6 professionals on the field on the court at the same time, yes.
Well, if you allow Golden State to play zone at that point. But then you're talking about Golden State's ability to score on 6 Cavs. I think Golden State might still win that series.
Let me say this.
They may try harder.
Everybody wants to use these opportunities because it's now the 4th time in a row these teams have met. They'd like to use this as an opportunity always for a form of referendum regarding LeBron James' career or Kevin Durant or where Golden State is all time on the champions list. What does it mean if LeBron wins? What does it mean if he loses? People love to bring up things about how, well, Jordan didn't lose when he got to the finals. All right, well, look, I would say his supporting cast was considerably better, including another top 50 player all time in the form of Scottie Pippen. But so I don't do that, and I don't like to argue about generationally, with this guy or that guy. But I actually think this run to the finals for him with this sorry group, of which he helped orchestrate your ride, actually does his legacy a solid. Because there's not a result that can hurt him. If they get swept, doesn't hurt him. They're not going to get swept either. But if they got swept, wouldn't matter. If they win it, we may be done with this discussion. I think we would be done with this discussion if they win it.
Probably, yeah.
Well, think about how superhuman that would be. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Right. And then he could go to the next place and go win 2 or 3 more.
Right.
And now he's got 7 rings, and he's beaten Golden State single-handedly.
Which, by the way, Chris Paul is already lobbying that he take it to Houston. Did you see that story?
No.
Reached out to him.
Isn't that tampering? Is he allowed to do that?
I'm sure he is. He can say, "Hey, man, come on." He can text.
If it's a sourced report, if it's not him, if it's not, attributed to Chris Paul's, phone message. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If they can prove it, he's in trouble.
I don't think so. I think a player can call a player anywhere. He's a player. He's not a part of the front office. I think if LeBron wants to call anybody in the league at any point, he could just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, how you doing?" You can do it. And then, unless they're tapping your phone, which they could be, I suppose. But that's you're allowed to have that discussion. I'm sure it kind of goes on all the time, actually, in a way that it never used to.
You ever play that game where can I envision this player in this uniform? Can you see LeBron in a Rockets uniform?
It's hard to, but I could see what a great series that would be every year. But in a weird way, Houston would piss me off in doing that too. They were that close already this year, and they didn't have Chris Paul in Game 7. They might have been able to knock him off this year without LeBron James.
But LeBron wouldn't be blamed in that circumstance.
No,
he didn't start it.
No, he'd be allowed to. No, I mean, most people are not going to blame him when he rides after this season. I mean, the gig is up. He's done everything he could do for Cleveland. Hope you enjoyed it, Cleveland.
Hope you enjoyed your one.
I mean,
I got you your one.
Well, in circumstances that really are for the ages, down 3-1 to win 3 straight.
Yeah.
And the way that he was a man-child.
Yeah.
I mean, that was incredible.
That's an all-timer, him and Steph. Like, that ends the debate if there ever was going to be a stupid debate about LeBron versus Steph and greatness caliber.
Yeah, we were done here, right?
You got your answer.
Good Lord. Well, it was also just criminal the way he treated him like a little child. It was just like, no. Every time Steph thought he had a blow-by, it would go to the BAM! I think we'd go flying off the backboard.
I'm as fast as you are.
Yeah, and I'm 265 pounds. And according to Hubie, I'm 3'10", 7 feet.
Hubie's working this series again for ESPN Radio. Can you believe that?
Cannot get lost in the shuffle that may be the greatest aspect of these NBA finals.
Now, if you're LeBron James, you're 7'4", 320 pounds. Take the ball to the basket.
Corey Clark told me, and I believe it yesterday when we were doing headlines, he said, remember that one year he was a Hawks fan? And he wore the Hawks shirt and all that and went to the games?
He bought tickets, so he became a fan.
So he did say to go see him in person and sit up close is breathtaking. Like, you think you know how big and strong and fast he is when you watch him on television, but you go watch him in person, you go, well, good Lord. I believe that is wholeheartedly true because he looks like a monstrous man on television. I can only imagine what he looks like in person moving that quickly.
That's what I was saying when he gets the N1 in Game 7 and he's pounding his chest and yelling.
Screaming. You're like, oh, no, what am I going to do with that?
I'm going to leave the building. That's what I'm going to do.
Nothing I can do with this.
Wherever he is, that's his building.
Well, in fact, wherever he's been, they've been in the finals. That's exactly true. Yes, it is remarkable to think about. And not only, you know what I forgot? I hadn't thought about this. But so here he is back in the finals, and, people will do the thing about legacies. But I'm not doing that. I'm just looking back at some of these numbers and some of those teams, and it is hard to imagine.
LeBron James in a death match versus Shaquille O'Neal in his chunky Laker days. Who you got? I think the Magic days, I don't know that LeBron has it in him because Shaq is just,
nobody's
condition.
messing with Shaq back in the day.
But Shaq and he's got to get chunky, but they're 3-peat Laker days.
Still taking Shaq at the Laker days. I'm taking LeBron when Shaq gets to the Heat.
Gets to the Heat? Okay.
Yeah. Then I'm taking LeBron in a one-on-one.
Yeah, in a one-on-one.
I mean, to the death. We're not talking about basketball. You're talking about killing.
No. Yeah, again, not in the Magic days. I don't know that anybody's got an answer for that.
No, nobody's got an answer for that. Maybe all time, right?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, now you'd have to take, if you're going to do this game, you can't take people that are skilled jiu-jitsu, like warriors or something. You have to take just 2 big dudes.
Yeah, like 2 big athletes.
Yeah, 2 studs.
Yeah. Like, you probably go to the wrestling department and
look
for...
Shaq ain't beating, I doubt Shaq's beating up Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, okay. So Brock Lesnar now versus LeBron now. Is it Brock? Because he knows more to get him to the ground, that kind of thing?
Matthew, how big is Brock Lesnar? You're a wrestling dude. What do they bill him
6'3",
as?
6'4".
He's not that
guessing.
tall. He's just 270 though.
He's just as wide as he is
wide
tall.
as he is. What about if you're talking about what's the big dude my kids love now? That big giant guy? Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
Yeah, what about Braun Strowman?
Braun Strowman versus Shaq.
Whew. What a great matchup that is. Anyhow, what I said I had forgotten about, and we'll move on from this, is that this is the 8th consecutive NBA Finals for LeBron. Hadn't forgot about that, but it's his 9th overall. I forgot about that other one. So 9 times that dude has been in the finals.
Well, that was the San Antonio sweep year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. That's that guy. We appreciate him, so I don't want to be the guy that goes, nobody appreciate. No, I appreciate him. He's in the discussion as one of the 3 greatest players to ever play.
Yeah, what sucks is, and it's human nature, I know I'm going to do it, but I get bored with how great he is because they don't have a chance to win the series. That's the hard part. Like, you can't even enjoy watching him play 48 minutes of basketball. He's going to have to play the whole game. But I'm probably going to watch the softball game tonight because
we're in the World Series.
Well, because the NBA Finals game isn't really,
not going to be that riveting. That's why you bet on everything, Tom. You can always add the juice, baby.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
269 Crawfordville Highway.
O'Reilly. When it comes to safety, nothing is more important than your vehicle's brakes. If it's hard to stop or you hear squealing or grinding noises during braking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts. You'll find the brake parts you need from trusted brands like Brake Best and Brake Best Select at everyday low prices. Play it safe with brakes from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Make your home an ADT home and help protect against break-ins, fire, and carbon monoxide. Get our lowest rate for fast response monitoring, starting at just $28.99 a month. That's about $1 a day from the most trusted name in home security. Get ADT's tested, trusted, and proven security and service, now at a great value. Don't wait. Call today. ADT. Always there. Now everywhere. Requires 36-month monitoring contract. Early termination, taxes, and install fees apply. Certain markets excluded. See terms and pricing at ADT.com.
Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop for tripping out your truck. Truck and Car Concepts, people with their cars, we're number one by far. Bed liners, bed caps, toys to throw your money at. Car stereos, car alarms, things for all you soccer moms. Detail and diamond plate, parts to fix your tailgate. Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop for tripping out your truck. Truck and Car Concepts, people with their cars, we're number one by far. accessories, lift kits for your mud needs. Mud tires, nice wheels, everyone will get a deal. Window tinting, that's a must. Come on out and visit us. Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop. We always aim to please. Truck and Car Concepts, everything is here from A to Z.
Shot site, Rivas scores!
The playoffs are here. The Corner Pocket is your home all spring long for all the heart-pounding moments in the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's held in a shot, save,
The Corner Pocket on Appalachia Parkway next to Earth Fair is your headquarters for Trivia Tuesdays, Beer Bingo Thursdays, and of course, all the moments you'll never forget.
For the championship!
The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Get you a My Pillow. I'm going to save you money getting you one right now. Let's go. Click on the 2-pack special. Enter the promo code 979ESPN. You'll get 2 My Pillow premium pillows for one low price plus free shipping. Just go to mypillow.com. Click on the 2-pack special. Enter the promo code 979ESPN. Call 800-944-6596. It's 800-944-6596. Be sure to use the promo code 979ESPN. By the way, about My Pillow, comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. If you try it and you don't like it, you can return it. You'll get your money back. 10-year warranty for My Pillow. It's good stuff. Machine washable, dryable, made in the USA. It's all of the things I've told you it is, which is to say My Pillow is a comfortable pillow. And if you're looking for a comfortable pillow, you should try My Pillow. Click on the 2-pack special. Promo code 979ESPN.
So I was vetting with Matthew about how athletic Braun Strowman is relative to, Shaq in his youth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Shaq could get to the top rope and do some stuff in the WWE when he first came into the NBA. That's why if I'm not talking about pro wrestling. I'm trying to give an image to how athletic one person is against the other. That's where I think, relative to Braun Strowman, Shaq is faster and more agile and more athletic.
But he wasn't as strong.
In his early days?
No, he wasn't as strong. No, you got to look at some of the numbers. Braun Strowman's a power lifter, dude. It's out of control what he can throw around. It's insane. Now,
if you watch Game of Thrones, I throw the Mountain in there.
So the Mountain just won Strongest Man of the Year again.
Right.
Yeah, he just did it. Oh, the Mountain's winning.
The Mountain's beating everybody.
I think the Mountain, man, strength is, somebody gets a hold of you.
Right. Like the Mountain could crush Shaq's hand if he caught his fist.
How big is the Mountain? He's monstrous. I've seen him.
He's 6'8", 6'10", somewhere in there. He's tall enough.
Again, we get into these discussions that get me sidetracked about there are people in this world walking this earth that could just render any resistance that you may have a moot point. And that's a weird thing.
6'9", 403 is the Mountain.
Good luck with that, guys.
I think he might be the winner.
I think he's taking out the entire arena per our discussion. Doesn't matter how many people get to him.
Listen, I don't think you'll ever devote any more time to Game of Thrones, but there is one scene that's particularly horrifying, and it's him getting loose. He's allowed to do what he wants to do to a guy.
Oh.
It is it's not for children.
It's uncomfortable.
No, it takes some of the innocence you have left at the age of 30.
Oh, man. I don't know. I never did start. I started the one episode. I watched the first one, which was great. Or maybe I saw the first 2. What's the one where the kid falls out the window when he catches the couple?
I think that's the first one. I think that's the first episode.
The kid gets pushed out the window. I went, what are we doing here, pushing kids out a window?
And now he's like John Lennon in the show. He's like, I don't care much for any of it.
Oh, he doesn't want to hurt anybody now?
Yeah, he's just like, what's the point?
Oh,
he's like, for the love of God.
Is the show any good anymore?
Probably not, but I think we're in the mode where it's entertaining and we want to see it through. It's still entertaining, but I don't think it's good.
The Americans just wrapped up.
I know, and
You haven't been watching this season?
No, I need to catch up on about 2 seasons worth. But it was really good for the first 3 years.
Very well-reviewed season this year, buddy.
It got lost.
But I think it found its way home.
You know what sucked is it got lost when they had Frank Langella, and you would think that it would get better, but it kind of got
didn't get
worse.
better?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, that was a little wayward. We'll get it back. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Are limited. Go to tcc.fl.edu and search drone today or call 850-558-3500. Learn how to package your drone photography so that you can get your drone business started. Go to tcc.fl.edu and search drone for drone education at TCC's Wakulla Environmental Institute. Class starts June 14th.
Here, do you need headsets?
I don't need no stinking headsets.
Well, then go. Come on, man.
All right. Hi there, Tallahassee. You know me. This is Eddie. You know, I have other restaurants in this town, Gordo's, Banditos. Well, I opened up something new. It's called Bumpa's Local 349. You may ask, what is Bumpa's Local 349? It was named after my grandfather. Bumpa. It's what we called him. Best man I ever knew. And the Local 349 was his union. And I try to bring this local flavor, this local flair of Tallahassee. I want to bring it to you, locally owned and operated. Warm, good food.
Good Lord, man, we're getting all weepy up in here. It's a cool sports pub. It's got TVs everywhere. You got every package. You got a gazillion kinds of beers and delicious food and a deck. We don't need to weep up in here. Come on, Eddie.
And we have 16 local Florida taps. Great craft beer just for you. And the best bologna sandwich you'll ever eat. It's like you just won the lotto. As Bumpa said, no matter how you cut it, it's still bologna.
Bumpa's Local 349, 2738 Capitol Circle Northeast.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This day in sports history. May 31st, 2007. In a double overtime game at the Palace of Auburn Hills, LeBron James single-handedly carried the Cleveland Cavaliers to victory over the Pistons. LeBron scored 29 of his team's last 30 points in the fourth quarter and the 2 overtimes, lifting the Cavs to a 109-107 victory to take a 3-2 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
All right, I got to admit, I was ready to plow through today. I don't mean the show without content or anything like that. I'm just ready to get to Friday. I think I'm ready to get to June. 31 days in a month is just too many. It acts as an irritant. I don't know why. It just does. I'm like, well, we're still in May? Come on. But anyhow.
May kind of moved quickly.
Oh, May flew until we got to the 29th. And I thought, there's 2 more days in May. Good God. But the other reason is that June 1st is the start this year of regional play, and I am so pumped about that. I am every year. It's a tradition and one that I embrace and still love and still get passionate about and nervous about. And tomorrow's program, you'll hear a lengthy interview with Mike Martin Jr. that we conducted today, but we saved it for tomorrow being regional day. And it's good. I think you'll like it. I think it's pretty thorough, and I think it's fun. I talked about the 2008 loss to Bucknell, and I can remember the moment that happened, and I thought, I actually ran into Mike Martin Jr.'s ex-wife, but at that time, wife, so I don't mean to bring up a sore subject, but after that game, the reason I bring it up, and I remember seeing her and going, oh, boy, and her going, yeah. Oh, man, that's not good, because that team had been so good all year long.
I remember that team.
Yeah, what a loaded team that was.
I remember how hot it was for that regional in particular.
Unbelievably hot.
And
you remember Buster Posey going nuts against Florida?
Yeah.
Getting a ball over the scoreboard?
Okay, so this is what happened. Yes, I watched that on TV. We couldn't get tickets, poor, and I didn't get the free tickets for the students. So I was like, all right, we'll put it on the big screen. Who cares? But the AC at my apartment complex at that time was next to nothing useful. So it was better in that moment to leave the front door and the back door to our opposite decks, because we had front and back decks, open. And you kind of absorbed the heat.
Oh, no.
And you never treasured a cold beer more than on a day like that. When you're just, no matter what you do, it's just, do you want to be in the sun kind of hot, or do you want to be in the shade kind of hot?
Well, let me just say, a cold beer is always great, but it is especially great when you're sitting out there before a regional play and it's hot out and you're with like-minded folk excited about baseball and having an icy cold one with them and talking about the history of this program and the expectations, the hopes, the dreams, the wishes, all of that before you walk into Hauser. I say on this show all the time these days, part of my elaborate Cameron plan is to, of course, bulldoze Hauser, much to the chagrin of the traditionalists, and build a new stadium over there by College Town where the intramural fields are, and just have a perfect little party area for everybody involved, and it's a moneymaker and all those things. And then you'd have the land that's necessary for the singular football facility that Willie wants and all that good stuff. But it's not lost on me the charm of Dick Hauser Stadium. It is unique. It has a look that I absolutely would want to replicate even if we did build a new one. It could be a fancy new stadium that looks just like this one, only nicer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like the dimensions to be the same. I want the fence, the whole deal.
Well, and you've got, going on 30 years of history.
It's crazy going there. Yeah, I love it. I do. I started, I think the first time I went to an FSU baseball game probably was 1990.
Yeah. You're closing in on 30 years of history there.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's about 12 years, which is a lot in my life.
Yeah, long time, yeah.
And you do get that feeling, it's different in June. It's just different in June.
Yeah.
There's that little extra sizzle in the air, and it's not just the humidity, it's the energy and people anticipating. That's the one cool thing about college baseball. I know it's not completely unique, but it feels different when you can play a postseason at home, right? And you can get sent off to the College World Series versus the home finale against a BC in basketball or Florida in football will always be a home finale. It's different when you're in the postseason, other teams come to town, and you can leave Dick Hauser Stadium a winner, which we have a lot of times, 17 now, is it, in Mike Martin's tenure? Mm-hmm. And then go on to the next step. There's just an extra cool feeling that the season is complete, and now you just watch on these closed-circuit televisions something completely different, and that was formerly Rosenblatt and now TD Ameritrade.
I got to go out to Rosenblatt, and I'm happy that I did, because I know that TD Ameritrade, does not replicate Rosenblatt. And, I'll be honest with you, I liked Rosenblatt. I wasn't, all broke up that they were building a new place. It wasn't. The experience of Omaha is fun because you're around fellow college baseball fans who are very passionate. I mean, it's a niche group, but they're a very powerful and passionate niche group. And it's a celebration. It feels more collegial than anything that happens when you get into the postseason in college football. College football now feels very professional. College baseball does not. It still feels very collegial. To me, it's the most collegial. Like sometimes I feel like the NCAA tournament, while I love March Madness, has gotten to where it feels very professional, very corporate.
I think the ACC basketball tournament is pretty chill.
Yeah, it's still chill, chill. But there aren't too many things anymore that feel very collegial that are big money producers. Most of these things feel corporate, and you see the impact of that. Not college baseball, not in the College World Series. No, it's very much of the university system, the NCAA and college. It's great. And there's a bond to that because you get a sense that while you're rooting for your team and these kids are immensely talented, and sure, there's big money involved in the sport, you do feel like each fan base understands they're rooting in a weird way for kids. It doesn't feel that way when you're watching a big-time football game, to me.
Well, because the minor league structure is the way it needs to be in baseball, too. Mm-hmm. So kids are here for the right reasons. They're either here because they want to be in college, even though they could be in the minors.
Well, and they're not all on full scholarships in baseball. I mean,
right.
There's nothing but a bunch of partial scholarships out there.
And that's I know I'm getting old, and I heard you mention it yesterday on Seminole Headlines. You said, I'm evolving. The show's evolving.
Yeah.
I feel like I am, too.
Yeah.
I'm garnering so much more interest.
It was after my sushi rant.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in softball, you were talking about softball.
Yeah.
You said, "Hey, man, you led with softball with Ira."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
We're evolving here.
We're getting there.
I find I'm so much more interested in true college sports. I know that football pays for all the uniforms, and I get that, and I stump for football when we're trying to level
you can
these.
Place them in their proper place, though. That's like we know what we're talking about.
Like we need to take care of football first. Do what you got to do for IPF and all that kind of stuff. But I do embrace these Olympic sports or non-Olympic, non-traditional sports. It's just and I find a greater sense of pride in the Seminoles across the chest.
Well, okay, so if you go to, as a Knoll, the tennis or the golf or the softball or, yes, I've not been to a swim meet, but I assume as much. Yes, you feel very of the university there, and any pride you have in it will come out in those sports as opposed to the big money sports. And yet, the identifier for fan bases, it's football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, that's the big show now. I don't want to lose football in spite of
No.
I'm not going to watch, no offense, like a softball World Series over a football game. Do not get me wrong.
No.
But I have to say that it really stuck with me. When I was at the CP Corner Pocket last Saturday.
And all those people were watching it.
And all the people are locked into softball, and baseball's on the TV too, and there's just a bunch of Knowles yelling and screaming and having a good time. There isn't the pressure that comes with the business-like football game. You're just rooting for your Knowles. I don't know if that is like the good old days or whatever kind of nonsense that you want to talk about, but it was really cool, and I'm glad to see that a lot of people feel that way too. I feel like there is a greater interest as TV is more present in our lives, digital TV, whatever. I think there is a greater interest in a softball program like Florida State's than there was 5 or 10 years ago. Not just in my own life, but it seems to be there's a greater following.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, we have access to more things than we ever did in the past, and over time, I think those things can grow. I mean, we've seen it with women's basketball in a way that I never thought possible. The product has also gotten a lot better in both women's basketball and softball, for example, and that's not lost on me either. Listen, I like to get caught up in within the whims of emotion like everybody else, and I'm certainly all for equality. But don't sit here and tell me that women's basketball 10 years ago was good. It wasn't. It sucked. It was almost unwatchable. There were about 4 girls that could play. The rest of it was garbage. Nobody could make a shot. The athleticism was sorry. It wasn't worth your time. I can tune into a women's basketball game now, and the level of skill, the skill set on each individual player, the pace of play, the efficiency, the ability to make shots that weren't being made on the regular 10, 15 years ago now is very obvious, and it's an eminently more watchable product. Softball, too. We're not just sitting around butting people over, hoping to get a bunch of little slappy infield hits and maybe win a game 3-1 anymore. Girls can hit it over a light tower. I see real skill, leather being flashed there, and that's just waves and generations of women playing sports at an earlier age and getting more efficient and better at it, better coaches infiltrating the early stages of their careers. That's all well and good. It's great. It also means for better products, we can sit back and watch these games now. It's just better.
It's going to keep me up tonight at 9:30.
Yeah, you'll watch it. You'll probably watch that more than you'll watch Cavs Warriors.
Well, it's going to be the alternate, and I'm going to find out who is actually vying for my television, time.
Well, let me say this on Cavs Warriors. Two things here. First of all, it's the only way this series is interesting is if the Warriors continue to do what they've done a lot in this postseason, which is remain disinterested, especially when they believe they have a definitive advantage. And they certainly have one here. And so if they go through the motions for a couple of games, you could see a 6-game series. Absolutely you could. Can Cleveland win it? I don't think so. Short of mass injuries to Golden State's roster, no.
Well, there's two things. It's you're right, the indifference, but then also Cleveland going crazy from beyond the arc. Yeah, that can be an equalizer too. If JR is the 1 out of 10 JR,
4 games?
No, but you're talking about forcing it to 6. I'm not talking about a series victory.
Yeah,
All I'm talking about is making this thing interesting. I mean, if they shoot, damn it, man. If Houston goes 3 for 22 before the game gets out of hand there in the third quarter swing, if they go 3 for 22 instead of 0 for 22, they probably win that game.
0 for 27, Tom.
No, but I'm talking about
prior to that.
When we talked about earlier this week, it was like the 4 to 5 turnovers, Florida State 2012.
Yeah.
At 0 for 22, they were still winning.
Yeah,
they're still winning.
Yeah, they were still winning.
It was at 0 for 27. By that time, that's when Golden State had taken a 10-point advantage.
Right.
So if they go 3 for those 22, the pressure is on Golden State in such a way that Houston may win that damn game.
Yeah, this isn't nearly as likable a Golden State team as they were in the beginning, as they came up and changed the way the game was played, because they went and added the second best player in the world to an already loaded roster, which is their right to do, and that's fine. I'm all for, listen, if you're an organization seeking to win rings, you do whatever you have to win rings under the rules. So I never fault them for bringing in Durant. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I respect Durant's decision. I don't. And also, they don't play the way they played. They don't share the ball nearly as much as they once did. They get into isolation. Durant's shots sometimes are absurd. He's just so damn talented. He makes them. They pound the ball in a way they didn't used to. Their points per possession is way down compared to where it was. It's one of the worst in the last 15 years for a team making the finals. It's weird. They don't play at the same pace anymore. Big Daddy Jay is here to tell you now that if you're going to bet the series, bet the under in every game. The under has come through in almost every Golden State game. They don't score like they used to.
They're bored.
I think part of it is that the ball doesn't move the way that it did, though, either. Something else is going on there. Some of that's been Curry's injury. They've convoluted. They've had times where they just don't move the ball well. Now, they're still capable, usually in the third quarter of every game, that they decide, well, we should play. And when they do, nobody can touch them. Nobody can touch them because they also defend. So when they care to play, you're going to get your ass beat.
So do you think tonight is a night where LeBron has a stinker like he did in Game 1 against Boston, or is this a night where he goes crazy and he drops 38 in a double-double or maybe a triple-double effort? Because I feel like this might be a stinker night for LeBron where Golden State's going to front run and play hard for Game 1, and then Game 2 gets interesting.
Brought it up in Hour 1. Bring it up again for those of you that missed it. Over, under for the series, LeBron James points per game. I'll set it at 34 because that's what Vegas set it as. Now, in this series against Golden State, he's been ungodly. Actually, the numbers are absurd. I think he was 35 and 13 a year ago. But what would you say is a best bet here? Over, under, average for LeBron in the series?
I think he's going to have a bad game out of 6, so that drops the average down. I think
Which means he'll also have a game where he drops 48 and they're in it in the fourth quarter.
I really think it's going to be 29, 30, somewhere in there. Just because I think there may be a game where Golden State comes out, they do things that Cleveland can't, and so LeBron's like, well, screw this, I'm going to conserve energy, and we'll try and do this again in a couple nights
Well,
from
he
now.
has to be you watch him on defense, those are the kinds of things he has to do. He has to pick his spots. Because he's so responsible for their offense, he has to pick and choose when is he going to bust it on defense.
Well, and they talk about energy conservation all the damn time in Cleveland, especially LeBron, about how much energy he has here and there, and he's laying on the floor before Doris' post-game interview after the East Finals. So I think if Golden State does what I think they're going to do tonight, which is front run and come out firing, tonight he may go for 22, and it's not going to be a reflection on him being shut down. It's just going to be, well, what do you want me to do with that? And then Golden State gets arrogant, and then you have a game in the fourth quarter in game 2. I mean, it may not play out this way at all. Just it feels like that's the formula we're going to follow here.
Did you see the Ringer's article today on the title alone cracked me up, and there's a reason I bring this up. Ranking every teammate LeBron James has ever carried to the NBA Finals. They literally did a rank of every teammate that he's ever carried to the NBA Finals. And the reason I bring it up is Okara White made the list. And it's not flattering. He's down on that list, way down there.
Well, he's in a suit.
He's carried 71 guys that fall in the category. And they used, like, Andrew Bogut literally recorded 2 fouls, had 0 points before he broke his leg. So he doesn't really count in the power rankings of guys that were carried by LeBron because that's how long he was there. Mm-hmm. He broke his leg minutes into his stint, so he doesn't really get to go there. So they did this ranking, and I did crack up laughing because 71 is Eddie Tavares, 70 is Sasha Khan, 68 is Terrell Harris, 67 is Dwayne Jones, 66 Okara White. And I went, well, Okara, at least you're not 71.
Yeah,
at least you're not Eddie Tavares. Some of those names, you're like, oh, that's right. Dexter Pittman.
Oh.
Jordan McRae, Kay Felder, Ira Newble. Yes.
Ira Newble was on the video game 2K6.
Bahani Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Remember him? Yeah. Joel Anthony. Dellavedova.
Oh, Joel Anthony wasn't terrible.
Chris Anderson.
The Birdman.
Scott Pollard. Greg Oden. Tony Douglas is on the list.
Oh, there he is.
Tony D made it 46. Not bad.
That's not bad.
No. Amon Shumpert, Larry Nance Jr., Damon Jones, Norris Cole.
Remember when he was the next big thing for like 2 weeks?
Brendan Haywood, Channing Frye, Mario Chalmers. Ronnie Turioff, Kendrick Perkins, Eric Dampier.
Now we're getting to some players.
LeBron's looking around like, man.
Well, remember, though.
I've had to do some things, haven't I?
This is as good a time as any to remind.
Michael Beasley.
He could play a little bit.
Well, Jeff Green.
That LeBron, the GM, screwed this whole situation up. We can't lose sight of that.
This time he did.
LeBron didn't screw,
Yeah.
He isn't a victim here.
Yeah.
He is not a victim here.
Jose Calderon. He's just, LeBron's like, hold on, everybody. We're going back. Get on me. It's Alabama out of the SEC.
Yeah.
That picture with the elephant carrying every single team in the league.
It's Bale in Batman Begins. He's saving Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
He has to bicep curl him over the edge of the mountain.
I love it. Let's do probables. Fire away. Here we go.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
This is a public service announcement. You guys should know the Tampa Bay Rays are over 500. Kevin Cash is earning his keep in Tampa. With the start they had, they're 2 games over 500. Are you aware of that?
No, I was not aware of that until you just notified me with the breaking news alert.
That's pretty incredible.
Kevin Cash money.
I'm proud of Kevin Cash, man. Watched him play here. Watched him get hit in the face before a regional against Auburn.
You said that he had one of the best arms from third base.
Best arm that's ever played here. Best arm that's ever
infield arm.
Yeah, infield arm. Unbelievable. I would giggle every time the ball went to him. I was like, ooh, here it comes. It was fun. He would pat and pat and pat. He would toy with people sprinting down the first baseline.
He was like LeBron sizing up a block.
It was so wrong. You're like, oh, this.
You're not going to do this.
No.
No, you're not.
No. Here,
and
ahead.
you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't, yeah. And he's like towering over him as he... No. Kevin Cash, those of you listening know this. When he was at third base here at Florida State, long before he ever got converted to a catcher in the majors, that ball would come to him, and if it was pretty well hit, one hop right to him, you knew he had a lot of time. Guys busting it out of the box, and he would just... And the runner would get 3/4 down the line. You go, okay, Kevin, I'm going to need you to make the throw. And then, wow! And it was just, and you'd hear it at the mitt and go, good God.
That poor first baseman.
I used to think it all the time, like, man, better have that glove up. Yeah, it was one of the best arms I've ever seen. Yankees, Orioles, Sonny Gray, Andrew Kashner. Cubs, Mets. Come on, Mets.
Yeah.
Jose Quintana, man.
Hey, we're over 500 despite the world, being against us. And by the world, I mean the baseball injury gods.
Seth Lugo.
No, Seth Lugo going to make a
Lugo.
spot start for old Seth Lugo, huh?
Little Seth Lugo.
That's that spin rate curveball.
There you go.
Here it comes.
Come on, Seth. You telling me to take the Cubs on the money line?
Lugo's good. If it's good Lugo, we're going to get to the fourth and it'll be like a 1-1 game. But I don't know how much more he's got.
Pirates, Cardinals, Trevor Williams, Jack Flaherty. Only Flaherty. Phillies, Dodgers, great matchup. Matchup of the night. Aaron Nola, Clayton Kershaw. Whoa, what are we doing here? Watching a little baseball out in L.A. I'll do it.
See, Arrieta's doing bench presses again? See his ERA in May?
Yeah, he's pitching well, yeah. I took him. Plus money on the Phils with Arrieta out there in L.A. because Arrieta looks like he's in good shape again, Tom.
Bench pressing.
Yeah. Washington Nationals, Atlanta Braves, Tanner Roark. Hey, here's your series, Braves fans. Here we go. Nats, Braves. Nats right there in the rearview mirror going. Nats have won 6 straight.
Not on tonight, though. We got the the NBA Finals.
Damn it, man.
It's not the Western Conference Finals at all, even though the Western Conference team is the only one that matters, right?
Feels that way. Nats, Braves, Tanner Roark, Sean Newcomb. Just have to watch it on TV.
Roark's been getting some issues.
Yeah, he is. Red Sox, Astros, Drew Pump. How good is baseball tonight? I mean, I know, folks, I got you. But baseball's really good tonight. We got Red Sox, Stros, fresh off that Yankees-Stros series.
Right.
And then the matchup I just gave you, Washington and Atlanta, is a very good one as well.
Well, I mean, the NBA doesn't tip off till 9, right?
Yeah, what?
So you got time to watch these games.
Indians, Twins, Shane Bieber, Jake Odorizzi.
Beaver?
Bieber.
Oh, Bieber.
Marlins, Padres, Y.E. Chin, Jordan Lyles. Rangers, Mariners, Mike Minor, Wade LeBlanc. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the map.
So we could wash away the past so that we may start anew.
Hey, I'll give you a little insight on Wade LeBlanc. He's yet to earn a decision this year, but has a 1.71. And he pitched in relief last year for my beloved Pittsburgh Pirates. Got a win in that appearance. Hasn't won a game since. That was in 2016.
Holy smokes.
But he's in the bigs. Wade LeBlanc's in the bigs with a 1.71.
He was always, and I stopped playing fantasy baseball a couple of years ago. I just don't have the daily commitment level to it. But he was always a guy that you'd see.
Spot start.
Ad drop.
Yeah.
LeBlanc played for everybody at least twice by the end of the season.
You're like, oh, I need to start. Well, LeBlanc started.
He's got a 3.11.
He's all right.
Okay.
If you tried to make him a mainstay, he's going to get
right after three roads turns of the rotation. Screw this guy. Wait, LeBlanc sucks. Then 2 months later, I think I should pick up LeBlanc.
Jamal McGlure, Juwan Howard, Mo Williams, Shard Lewis. Now we get down to the good ones. Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, Sean Marion.
They put Allen above Wade?
Wade's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is Ray Allen. Number 3 is Chris Bosh. 4 is Kevin Love.
Allen above Bosh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For career.
Oh, career. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think...
I thought, in their time playing with LeBron, I don't know.
Future Hall of Famers tier is what that would be. That would be Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, Sean Marion.
Okay.
But that list, when we're just being on the list makes me laugh. We've got 2 Knowles on the list. And I'm happy for Okara White, just smiling in the background of every one of those pictures. Like, all right.
Yep, this is my hat.
Straight getting paid. Sasha Khan is somewhere going, hey! Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great night. NBA Finals for you on ESPN Radio tonight.
That's right. Soccer guys tonight.
7
o'clock, too.
All right. Be well. We'll talk to you tomorrow.